I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the platform. Welcome to the show. Come on in. Come on in, everybody, okay? Hey, hey, hey. Y'all know the routine. I want to make sure that you can hear me. And I also want to acknowledge everybody, all of you who are tuning in from all over, okay? All over the world. Go ahead and put your city, state, or wherever you are from into the chat so I can give you a shout out real quick, okay? Come on in, come on in. What's up to all of my moderators? Thank you, Miss Cookie from The Shy, for joining us this afternoon. Anyone that you see with a wrench behind their name, they are volunteering their time in the chat to make sure that you guys have a good time, okay? So all we ask, come on in, Michigan. What's up, Lou? All I ask is that you are respectful of each other's opinions, including mine. No calling each other names. We are not robots, okay? We may disagree, but we are coming from all over. So think about it this way. You guys are literally mingling with people from all over the world right now in this little space, and I could not be more grateful, okay? I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Come on in. Oh, she said camera. She said, get the camera on, girl. Alabama. What's up, Alabama? What's up, Houston, Texas? What's up, what's up, what's up? Come on in, Dallas. What's up, Los Angeles? You guys, so we're going to have some good talk today, okay? Jamaica again is in the house. We are going to have some good talk. Blessings to the chat. There's 239 of you watching right now. I would appreciate it, please and thank you, if you hit the like button. Also become a subscriber if you are not already, okay? And yeah, that just helps, you know, the algorithm connect to other people who may not know my channel or be familiar with it so that they can be a part of the festivities over here. Okay, what's up, Alabama? What's up, Trinidad? What's up, St. Louis? What's up, Seattle? What's up, Louisiana? Nice to see every single one of y'all. Pine Bluff is in the house. What's up, what's up, what's up? DC, Cleveland, Ohio. What's up, Virginia? What's what is this? South Carolina, Georgia. Hello, hello, Arizona. That's right. Lady D said, don't forget to hit that like button when you come in, please and thank you. Say hello to me when you come in, okay? What's up, Barbados? ATL is in the house. Maryland is in the house. Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys. Come on in, Rhode Island, Baltimore. Okay, Minneapolis. Why can't I say Minneapolis for Pete's sake? Bahamas watching again. Kentucky, Alabama, Wisconsin. All right, y'all. Thank you. The Motor City, Detroit. What's up? What's up? All right, let me take down the thumbnail. Y'all see the banner at the bottom. All opinions are alleged, but we're gonna talk about some things today. Let me come on in. See, I got some new hair. I bought some new hair today. Come on in, you guys. The UK, what's up, UK? So yeah, let's get it cracking. Listen, I made a post to my IG stories. I told y'all that I was, you know, going through some few things. My puppy, I call him a puppy, but he was a full-grown dog. He was with me for 14 years, which is a long time for his breed. But I lost my dog, Houston, on Tuesday night after I had went live. So he lived a beautiful life. And, you know, I'm still missing him, of course. But I did want to share that with you guys because y'all have heard me and this voice of mine not do well over the last couple of weeks, maybe like a month and some change. But when I am going through things, the stress affects my voice. And so that is what you guys have been hearing, these last couple of weeks is me, the stress of what was happening in my household. So I wanted to say that because I know a lot of you have been sending me recipes and things like that. This is what you need to drink. This is what you need to do to get your voice back, girl, blah, blah, blah. And I thank every single one of you for doing that, for sending messages to me in regards to that. And hopefully it will get much better soon. Okay. But I did want to share that with y'all. Thank you to everybody who sent a message over on IG, because I did post it with a little heart there. Okay. But I wanted to share that part just because it took a little while. He, if you have a fur baby, sometimes things happen, and you might take them in and have them, euthanized. But he was older, so there was a lot of taking care there. But that's it. So anyway, we are going to push through. Let me turn my phone off. Excuse me for a second. Okay. So we're going to push through because this is not a sad live, child. This is not a sad live. Everything's good. I just wanted to share that part because a lot of you have been asking questions like what's going on, things like that. And that was what was affecting me. So that's it. I appreciate all of y'all though. Okay. Moving on. What's up, Alabama? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Okay. All right. So we are moving on. We are moving on, child. We're going to do this blind item. Yeah. So we're going to do this blind item first. Let me put up this thumbnail real quick so that y'all can see, because I posted this thumbnail of Melody and Miss Stormy Steele. Y'all know Melody went live yesterday and she shared a whole lot of stuff. Okay, a whole lot of stuff. And we're going to talk about it, okay? Along with some other stories that I'm going to share with y'all. But we are going to start with my signature blind item, okay? And I appreciate every single one of y'all. I see your comments. I love you. Thank you so much for sending your love. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get started with the blind item. Okay. All right, you guys, you ready? Here's the blind item. And y'all should know this because I talked about it. I talked about this person just a couple of weeks ago. Maybe not even a couple of weeks ago, maybe just within the last week. Okay, but here's the blind item. I'm not going to let y'all see it before it happens. Okay, I figured it out this time. Okay, so here's the blind item. I'll post this. Now, see it? Although successful at removing affirmative action from college admissions, he lost the lawsuit to end minority business grants, okay? So put the name in the chat. This is someone y'all should know because this man is wreaking havoc on trying to undo everything that the civil rights movement has done to try to give us a step. Okay, just give us a small step at that in making things equal. So go ahead and put that name in the chat. He lost this lawsuit recently. Previously, though, and I talked about this just a little bit ago, was successful at removing affirmative action from college admissions. And it started with Yale. I told you that there was an Asian kid that was working with him to remove it. You guys have not guessed it yet. Haven't guessed it yet. I see you. I see. There we go. Love Key got it. Edward Bloom. This is a name that you should know. This is a billionaire who has been working diligently around the clock to undo everything that should be protections for us, for Black people. Okay, look, Clarence Thomas, him too, child. Him too. But he has been using his wealth, his power, his privilege, the people that he knows in political spaces, to remove certain things from that, like I said, undo everything that the civil rights movement had did for us. Excuse me, child, this hair is in my face in the wrong way, okay? So I'm going to read to you guys what recently happened. Not recently, actually. I believe this happened last year. I know I discussed it on my IG stories. I may not have discussed it here on YouTube, but this is important to know. Like, we really have to stay focused on what the hell is going on in the world, child, because when I tell y'all they're trying to shoot us back to 1942, I mean it. They're trying to take us backward into 1942, 1842, if they can, okay, when America was great. So we need to really be paying attention. Make sure that you are registered to vote. If you think you're registered to vote, go on ahead and check that registry, because from what I'm understanding, people are being removed. So you want to make sure that you are registered, all right? We have less than 2 months before the election. So keep that in mind. But let me read y'all this story. This is the CEO, Ariane Simone. She announced the dismissal of a lawsuit that prevented the Fearless Fund, that's right here in Georgia, from supporting Black women entrepreneurs. All right, I'm going to read this story for y'all. Keep your ears open and pay attention. If you're not following me over on the IG, okay, and the Tickety Talk, follow me on both. But if you're not following me over on IG, I drop a lot of information that I think that people should know or use. You don't always get to talk about it the same here on YouTube, even though I'm trying to push my platform into a, very knowledgeable space. Just make sure you guys are paying attention to what's going on around here. Let's see. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's me, Bedazzled. I appreciate you. So I'm reading this because this is definitely news you should know. And like I said, the name that everybody should be paying attention to, afraid of, because this man has a lot of power in some of these spaces, okay? And he's appealing this decision, just so you know. He's appealing it. He's been working around the clock using his billions to undo civil rights protections. And he did succeed at removing affirmative action as a part of admissions for colleges. And it started with Yale. And I told y'all maybe last week that even though that was the case, Black admission at Yale was still at 14%, while Asian admission actually decreased. So that person didn't even do himself a damn favor, child. But, things happen. Anyway, the fund was called the Fearless Fund, and it was specifically set up to give Black women entrepreneurs grants to help their businesses along, okay? And we all know that we need that, right? We all know that we are typically denied at the bank more than any other group. So having these little, groups or people that are considering what we go through, that we may not get the same treatment, say, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of a leg up, because $20,000, even though it is appreciated, it's still, it's not as much as others may get. But anyway, let me put this out here. The lawsuit preventing the Fearless Fund from allocating funding to Black women entrepreneurs has been settled. As Afrotech previously reported, the Fearless Fund, currently being led by founding partner Ariane Simone, and let me put her picture back up, was sued by legal activist Edward Bloom and his American Alliance for Equal Rights group. In the lawsuit filed in the District U.S. Court in Atlanta, Georgia, in August of 2023, the investment firm had been accused of explicit racial exclusion. He said, if you're going to give a grant, everybody should be included. For creating a grant program that was open only to Black females, with the lawsuit alleging that it went against the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Bloom and the group flagged the Fearless Fund's effort of providing $20,000 grants and mentorship directed to Black women to a violation of race neutrality. And that's what the Washington Post reported. What Simone had to say is that women of color continue to face significant barriers in obtaining access to capital funding. Okay. We are very pleased with the court's decision to deny the plaintiff an attempt to shut down our grant program, and we look forward to continuing to advance this critical mission. So hopefully we are supporting this. This is grants. So if you are able to donate to this fund that is doing amazing work, helping Black women become entrepreneurs and owning businesses, please do so, because there are people with money, with pockets as deep, okay, as the ocean, who is doing everything they can to stop it. All right. But like I said, Edward Bloom did say that he is appealing this decision. And who knows, if he gets it to Donald Trump's Supreme Court, he may be successful. Okay. Just keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. So I did want to put that out as the blind item. Hopefully this is information y'all can talk about when y'all having dinner with your families. Okay. Things like that. Just keep in mind the world is big. Okay. And there's a lot of people out here that's doing some awful, evil, nasty, dirty dog things. All right. 541 of you are with me right now enjoying the show. Hopefully, go ahead, hit that like button. Become a subscriber if you are not already. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. And yeah, let's get into the next story. Who can we talk about next? Hold on. Let me see what I got coming up. Hold on. Let's talk about Russell Simmons and that's Kimora Lee Simmons real quick, y'all. If y'all didn't know, Russell Simmons said, Russell trusted Kimora. Let me put up this. Thank you, Cheryl the Pearl. Go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, please, and thank you. So I think maybe a year and a half ago, it came out that Russell had put all of his businesses and essentially his money into the hands of Kimora Lee Simmons, his ex-wife, the mother of, I believe, two daughters that he has. While he fled, like in real life, not in Simon Guobadia life, he in real life fled the United States. He is living, I believe, in Bali. I don't think he's ever come back. He's been subpoenaed to return, do some sort of lawsuits, essay claims, and things like that. He's not coming back here, child. But he did put his money in his ex-wife's authority. I guess he expected her to treat him right. And he said that she damn near spent all of it, okay? And now he is suing the pants off of her. And, his daughters are come out and said some things against him. I think one of the daughters, is it Naoki? She was dating a man that was, he was up there, child. I think he was older than Russell. She said, well, if my dad ain't going to give me no money, I'm going to get it from some old man, child. She said, it is what it is. Now, she stayed out of the press for a little bit, but let me just read this. It says, Russell Simmons' legal battles with his ex-wife, Kimora Lee Simmons, appears to be far from over, despite earlier optimism about a resolution. 4 months ago, I thought it was last year, 4 months ago, Russell hinted that he had filed a lawsuit against Kimora, child. So he is looking to still go after her. Kimora, she's been enjoying her, rich and fabulous life, basically. She does not care. It looks like. I'm curious how this lawsuit is going to go, or if he's even able to move forward with the lawsuit, since he has lawsuits of his own pressed against him. Even if he attempted to do it like through a Zoom call, is the court obligated to move forward with a lawsuit when you have all kinds of charges against you? That's the question I'm curious about. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Kimora is doing her thing. She has not said a whole lot. She did imply that at one point, she implied that Russell was a narcissist, she said. I think she also said that he was abusive. We all know that Russell got with Kimora when she was in her teens. She has produced beautiful children, even married Russell, and she may be, over some of those things. Looking back on it, you can say, well, he took advantage of me. But she was trying to protect her second husband or third husband. I'm not sure if she married the guy, the actor. I think that was just like a kind of just a regular ceremony, but she did marry the other guy, the billionaire. And Russell is accusing her of trying to save that guy by using his money to do so. So he said that he said he's almost penniless. Okay. So we'll see. There's a lot of people suing Russell looking for some sort of restitution. And look, sometimes karma might come back for you in the worst damn way. Is Russell going to be able to live out the rest of his life in Bali or nah? That's what we're checking out right now. Let's see. LV Sweet Mama said Kimora could have managed the money better if he would have let her grow up, graduate high school, and have a normal life. He can pay now for cutting her childhood short. Okay. LV said, I'm on Kimora's side. I don't give a damn what happened to that damn money. If you gave it to her child, it is what it is. Okay. If you don't like the way she managed it, tough. You could have stayed in the States and managed it yourself. But we all know, like I said, he had to flee the country so that he could avoid some charges. Okay. So that's what's happening with him. Let's move on to the next story, y'all. Let's talk about, who do I have up next? Let's talk about Reggie Bush. I don't know if you guys saw this story, but Reggie Bush basically asked someone to make his day after they broke out a window in his LA home. What's going on over there in LA? Everybody wants to break in the house when you still live, when you're still inside of it, child. But according to this, on Tuesday night, September 10th, around 11 p.m., someone attempted to break into Reggie Bush's $5.65 million LA mansion. What y'all think about that? The suspect tried to enter the property by smashing out a window. However, they were scared off, and Reggie Bush basically told them, this ain't what the F you want, okay? This ain't what the F you want, the fuh, okay? He yelled that out after he heard the glass shatter, and then they ran off. They said there was no word whether or not Reggie's children was in the home at the time of the attempted invasion. But yeah, he was about to meet them where they were. Let's just put it that way. He was about to meet them where they were. But $5.65 million. You think that if you get that kind of money and live in that type of house, that you would have like top of the line security, that they wouldn't even be able to get to the door, let alone a window. Okay, that's pretty scary. They wouldn't be able to get to the door, let alone a window. And here they are, close enough to break out the damn window, and he had to scream and let them know that he was about to make their day. Okay, set them on fire, basically. So yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, if I buy a $5.65 million house, I don't know what the hell's around the house, but it better be like the tallest fence. People better be getting electrocuted, booby trapped all the way trying to get to my door. But yeah, that's what's going on with Reggie Bush. Just an FYI. Let me see what y'all got to say. Good for Reggie. I agree. That's pretty scary. He has small children at home too. But like I said, they didn't say whether or not his children were there. They didn't say that the wife was there. But he was, again, $5.65 million. You might not even hear the glass break. You could be on the West Wing. It was all blessings that he was near enough to hear it and then also scream out at whoever was trying to break in, okay? Because they could have been armed too. Then they thought he wasn't home. They get inside. One or the other ends up startling, and then someone ends up disappearing off the planet. Living in a gated community, facts. You would think you lived in a gated community. I think I read not too long ago, maybe 2 months or so ago, was it Drake? It was in Canada. Drake's property got broken into when he was out and about, and he lives in a gated community. There's people here, reality stars in Atlanta, Georgia area, that lives in gated communities, and they've gotten their homes broken into. So, these people are smart. They probably are working with those security companies that's supposed to be protecting your home, so they know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. Look, Tia Lee said the same thing. Security was working since he was able to catch him. Okay, maybe the best type. Okay. 5.6 million is not much here in LA. I'm an agent and we sell those on a regular basis. Okay, I did not know that. Tree W, thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's important. 679 of you are watching right now. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, okay? And also become a subscriber if you are not already. His security should have picked up any activity that was going on outside. Yep. They are saying that Drake's break-in was an inside job. Yep. Some of these things are an inside job, just so y'all know. Security employees. Oh, did I miss what you were trying to say? Sometimes that's how it works out, y'all. Sometimes people be able to get them phone calls saying such and such just left, right? So you want to be careful. You want to be careful. All right, let's take this down. Let's talk about the next story. Let's talk about this one right here, child. Danity Kane star singer that was actually managed by P. Diddy, probably the founder of Don Richard is her name, is reportedly suing Sean P. Diddy Combs, accusing him of SA and inhumane treatment. She also said that she witnessed him abuse his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, multiple times. Look at her. She is very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. These lawsuits keep pouring in. They keep pouring in on this man. Now, I know a lot of people are saying innocent until proven guilty, all the things, but these lawsuits keep pouring in, and this is from someone that the public does know. A lot of people loved Don Richards and Danity Kane. Okay, let me see what this says. This is from the last story that we just did regarding Reggie Bush. Selling Sunset, which I did love that show. It was on Netflix, sells $30 million homes in LA. So you're just giving me a baseline for where Reggie Bush's home may be. Okay. Well, for the rest of us, some of us out here who don't have a $1 million home, Reggie Bush's home might be a little higher than that. But yes, Sonia is saying, listen, there's a lot of homes out there that's more expensive than Reggie Bush's home. But anyway, this is what this article is saying, and this coming from Spiritual World, okay? So the Danity Kane singer, Don Richard, and a lot of people do know her. So when sometimes we get these names, like we got Cassie. Oops, hold on one second. Sometimes when we get these names, like we got Cassie, right? Now we get Danity Kane who's coming in, and it kind of, hits home for the public when these people start coming out and saying, I experienced the same. I actually witnessed what happened to Cassie. That can make a big difference. It can make a big difference. But they're saying that she is alleging that she saw not only Cassie, but also ex Kim Porter leaving a studio crying, apparent bruises all over her face in 2005. So not only is she claiming Cassie, but she's also saying she witnessed bruises on Kim Porter, which is also Diddy's, the late Kim Porter. Let me start there. The late Kim Porter, which was also Diddy's longtime girlfriend and also the mother of, I believe, three children, twins and a boy, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can correct me in the chat. Years later, that she's saying that she also saw him go against Cassie, throwing her against a wall, choking her, dragging her, a whole lot of things, okay? Richard additionally claims that she saw this dad of 7, again, more DV against Cassie. She says she saw it with her own 2 eyes, and now she is accusing him of doing the same to her, touching her, filling her up while she was trying to get dressed, get prepared to go out on stage. She said Mr. Combs frequently hit her bare buttocks, often commented on her body, noting that she was way too skinny, but she had a behind, the lawsuit reads. Jesus. And she's seeking compensatory damages, a money judgment for everything that she's gone through, mental pain, emotional anguish, and distress. But it does not give what those fees are. Let me see if it says it on the other side. Oh, she looks super cute. She has like different hairstyles and everything. After attempting to show Cassie's support with former Dirty Money bandmate, Diddy allegedly responded, stating the following, you bitches get in my relationships, adding, don't tell my ish Cassie what she need to be doing, just make money and shut the F up. So basically she's talking about Diddy threatening her after she attempted to show Cassie support. Diddy came to her and basically threatened her, saying, don't tell her anything, don't talk to her about anything. And a lot of people have said that he used to do that, including men and women. Don't talk to Cassie. If you were a man, you weren't allowed to look her in the eye, or you would be physically threatened, and often, is what they said, physically attacked. Okay. So what do y'all think about that, child? Put it in the comments. Let me see. The info is excellent today. Yes, child. I was sitting on this like, what is going on in the universe? What is going on in the universe? Come on in, everybody. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Yeah, I'm telling you, Diddy can't win for losing. 2023, late 2023, and damn near all of 2024. There seemed to have been a news story every month regarding Sean Diddy Combs. Okay, so it is still piling on for him. And what, we're in September. 3 months left, baby. What is going to happen next? He cannot catch a break. So y'all come on in. Tell me what y'all think about P. Diddy. We are going to move on to the next story. This is good news, though. This is good news. Let's talk about this one right here. Miss Nene Leakes, baby. Miss Nene Leakes is back with the NBC, Bravo, who else? Peacock, E-Network family, okay? If y'all didn't know, they were in mediation, and then at one point, I think they paused mediation. She ended up teaming up with Bethany Frankel, who said, listen, I'm not trying to sue Bravo or Andy Cohen or anybody else, any of the subsidiaries, okay? I'm just getting the story out there. She said, I'm blessed, but a lot of these people are living paycheck to paycheck. And she said, Bravo, and, you know, at the end of the day, NBC, because that's the larger umbrella, is taking advantage of folks. And I think that somebody needs to share what's going on. And she said, I'm going to be the whistleblower. That's cool. I'll be the whistleblower. And she ended up asking her good friend, Nene, to join her in her plight, I guess. Nene went on and talked about some things that was going on with her, which she shared publicly. But she also said, when I was saying those things, the same things you were saying, it wasn't received well. People did not take it from me. Child, they were saying you deserve it. Okay, people that look like her said, girl, you get whatever you get. Who gives a shit? You're evil, you're nasty, you're no good, you're low down, whatever they wanted to attach to her name. And she said, all I want to do is work. I'm not asking for anything free. I like working. I know what my talent is. I know what God put me on this earth for. I have a purpose, and I have not been able to do it because NBC, Bravo, E, whatever those things are. She said, I believe that they have blackballed me within the industry. And because of it, you know, I'll have offers on the table. And then when I go to, you know, follow up, they get retracted. They're, oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to send it out to you. So she was sharing that. And there were people that were fans of hers who, of course, believed. But there were a lot of people who said, you get what you get and you deserve it. There was a woman by the name of Bethany Frankel who said, I don't think you deserve it. I believe everything that you're saying. In fact, I know some shit, because when you and I attempted to do something together, and I had talked about it to my good friends at NBC, and they were all gung-ho for it, they came back and said to me, we're not able to move forward because of who you're choosing. So she said point blank, I know damn well this is true. And if I can do something to help, I can. And thank God for those kind of angels. I don't think people understand how important that is, because you can't always fight those people with a lot of money and a lot of, you know, their arms are very, very long. Okay. And they're looking to harm you in ways that, you know, some people can't even imagine. Don't forget, just last season, okay, of RHOA, Bravo had edited Nene out of a flashback scene. Do y'all remember that? Edited her out of a flashback scene. And basically said, well, she asked for it. She said she didn't want him to talk about them anymore, or whatever the case may be. I want y'all to know You should never wish that on anybody. Never. I don't care what she said. Anybody who has that kind of platform, like an NBC, a Bravo, whomever, their job is to keep an accurate record of what's going on in the world. Okay, they put these people on TV. You want them to keep an accurate record. And the idea that they can come in and erase you out, your contribution to things, and we can, you know, as African Americans, we see this happening, like with the laws in Florida to erase history. Don't teach it. And if you do teach it, someone's going to come into the classroom and have you arrested. All they need is for a student to go home and tell the parent. That is how trigger a trigger hair situation that is. So just so y'all know, that's disgusting. Okay. But they erased her. They erased her from a flashback scene, not even willing to do that. And now this is where they are. She will be hosting, I think it's the Emmys, on the red carpet, which is amazing. So congratulations to her. And I hope that this moves her into more spaces, considering that Bravo has decided to, or I should say NBC has decided to go on ahead and work with her again. So maybe more offers will start coming to her from other places. Okay. So good for her. Really happy to hear it. It's not good not to be able to take care of your family or yourself. Okay. If it can happen to people in these spaces, it can happen to us too. Always remember that. Always remember that. All right. But she said, catch me. I'm just reading her caption. It says, back to business. Back to business is how she started it. She said, catch me live from the Emmys on Sunday, hosting the after party on the red carpet. She said at 11 p.m. Eastern, tune in. And then she also said, glad to be back with my NBC family. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it looks like I think it's her boyfriend still. Naomi said, you look great. She got her little beautiful suit on. I think that's great. I think that's great. I was happy to hear it. So let me see what you guys got to say about it. NBC, Black others that called them out also. Bill went from trying to buy the network to, good luck, Nene. Absolutely. Nene did LaToya and others bad on national TV. In my opinion, another Black woman. Well, I have to say this. Again, if you are wishing this type of bad to someone, because this really is a situation where if they could do it to that person who has a bigger platform, they will do it to you. They will do it to your children, your grandchildren, and those after. You have to be able to stand on the right side of things when you see history being erased. Okay. S. White said, but would you want to be associated with a network that you said discriminated against you? You know, half of the things that we do, I know that people don't think about it that way, but we live in a country that, was built on racism. The food you buy, the restaurants you go into, the stores you purchase from, they probably all have a little bit of history with racism. Whether or not you experienced it, if you knew the truth behind those things, you would probably make different decisions. But we live in an ignorance is bliss state. So it does not matter. A lot of people sue their employer every day for an opportunity to either continue working there to support their family, keep a roof over their head. Those are the things that happen. That's just fact. Somebody check on Candy, okay? But like I said, these kind of things happen all the time. And if y'all read the history of stuff, I think it was, I won't name the brand just in case somebody try to come and get me. But there was a brand that I used to buy all the time at the grocery store. I love this brand, okay? And then they came out and said some of the most racist garbage. I boo-hooed. I had to boo-hoo, baby, because I was like, damn, why do y'all do this? Just shut up. I don't even want to know what y'all political affiliations are. But it's that kind of thing. We live in a space where ignorance is bliss. It is more racism than there is non-racist spaces, period. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Anytime I get an opportunity, we need to know these things because sometimes, y'all, we're speaking in a way that suggests that we don't know, and it can affect people that are under us. We got to know where we are in these spaces. Okay. Just an FYI. All right. Let's see. Mel's red phone said Nene is marketable, and NBC made the best decision by proving the opportunity or providing the opportunity for her to work. Well, listen, this is what I will say. Their number one star that's still on television Monday through Sunday, okay? A male who has been accused of many, many things. No one's taking him off of his perch. So if you are willing to work with him and what he's got going on, mediation was the right thing to do, and putting her where she should be was also the right thing to do. You want to show that you can work on things, because it really looks bad for you to have all of these people accuse him of things. Watch What Happens Live, accuse this person of things, and I stand behind him 1,000,000%. Go on ahead and, get over it is what I say. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. Well, let's talk about this. Thank you. Everybody, 706 of you are here right now watching. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? Follow the instructions of what's going on in the chat from our moderators. And then also, y'all, let me take this down. Hold on. Also become a subscriber if you are not already. Whew. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Now we are here. We are here to talk about what happened the other day with Mel and Stormy, child. Hold on, because I have something I have to pull up with this on my IG. I'm going to take this down for a second. But anyway, this has been interesting. Sunday night, Melody, I believe it was Sunday night, Melody went on her tickety talk. She went over there on the tickety talk, child, and she asked for help locating someone that might be associated to a voice and a phone number that she had pulled up for the folks, okay? And she had an idea of who she thought it was. She said, I have an idea of who I think it is, but she enlisted the help of her fan base to see if they could, I guess, confirm some things for her. And so, yes, y'all. She ended up doing that. And I think yesterday, my days are like literally smashing together. It's amazing how the brain deals with grief, child. I believe it was yesterday, even though it feels like it was 100 days ago. She went on live last night to, I guess, confirm it. Was it even last night? Damn. I don't know what day it was. My apologies. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it was yesterday morning. I'm sorry. Put it in the chat if y'all know. I for whatever reason, it literally slipped my mind just then and there. But she went on to talk about it. Okay. And it all stemmed around a text message that had come to a phone that belonged to her son. Okay, belonged to her son. He was the official owner of this phone right now. But it turned out there was a previous owner, and the previous owner was Martell's baby mother. Okay, so somehow they swapped phones. Y'all remember maybe perhaps last year, December, Martell had bought cell phones for the Eminem kids, right? I think we remember that. Most of y'all should remember that. Just bear with me. I'm going to try to give y'all everything that I know, okay, based on what I've seen in lives and also what I see on the TV show, okay? But he had went and got the kids' cell phones. I remember it being cold outside, and I think he wasn't able to get up the mountain, because I heard that Melody lives on a mountain, because that's how she stands on her porch and looks out over the city, okay, of Huntsville. But he wasn't able to get up the hill because it was icy. He had just bought these cell phones, and Mel had made this comment, you never, ever, ever, ever will you be able to bring these cell phones into my house, okay? Now, she said that some kind of way these phones got swapped. These phones got swapped, I guess, voluntarily. Let me pull up my notes, please, and thank you. I'm trying not to leave anything out. These notes, these cell phones got swapped. Okay. And whoever, for whatever reason, not even whoever, for whatever reason, they did not change out the phone number. They gave a phone that used to belong to an adult, who I would assume, like all of us who have a phone in this day and age, you got your whole life attached to this phone, okay? There's all kind of pictures and shit, phone numbers, people who call, bills are associated, medical history, everything that you could possibly think of is associated on your cell phone. These aren't the phones from back in the day, okay, where you might have been able to play Pac-Man or some shit. This ain't a flip phone. This is your life that's attached to this phone. But some kind of way, a phone that had someone's history and other people knew as that person's number, a grown person's number, somebody over 30, okay? Between Martell's, when they had their little breaks, who knows? She could have had a little, trick up in there or something. You don't want that person calling saying, at 2 in the morning, talk about, can I come over? Right? Y'all know how people do. She grown. So why not change out the number? Don't know. They might have did a hard reset. Okay, one of them factory resets that clears the phone, but for whatever reason, they did not change the phone number, because your phone number typically goes with you. Okay, I've had my phone number forever. Okay, I've bought new phones. And that phone number stays with the phone. Okay, and by the way, all you have to do is call your, cell phone provider, and they will put the new number or switch that number to whatever phone you want. So the fact that this bullshit happened is wild. The fact this bullshit even happened is wild. But we're going to start with that, okay? So, are y'all with me? At the end of the day, this phone that belonged to Martell's grown-ass girlfriend, baby mama, got moved to his son. So it looks like the new phone that he may have purchased for him was given to the baby mama. Okay. Anyway, folks, now I say all that because it did stump me. I'm around little kids sometimes, and you lay your phone down somewhere, you forget, you looking like, damn, where did the phone go? And you praying that the kids didn't take it. Not because I have anything that's like on, be incriminating for me, because my phone is my business. And we all know that your phone right now, anybody who has a phone, it's like your social security number. It's like your bank account, your bank information, everything is on that phone. So it does stump me that the adults that were in charge of passing that phone over didn't make that very small change so that you were at the very minimum protecting the child, right? Protecting the child. Because you don't want those messages, whatever was coming over to come to the child. Okay, I'm gonna start there. Now, I'm going to get into some other things, okay? I'm giving y'all all just history. This is literally coming from my dome. I can't even, it's coming from my brain, okay? That's it. Now, we all remember this moment, right? On the reunion, I believe it may have been reunion 4 or 5. Y'all can put it in the comments. Let me know. Retreat now. Retreat now. That was a order that Martell gave to Stormy. Retreat now. Y'all remember that? We sure do. Okay. And if you remember that, then you may remember before the retreat now, season 3 reunion. There is a conversation that's had on stage, and it's confusing. I don't know why season 3 always is like embedded in my mind, because that's when everything seemed to change. A lot of things seemed to change. But season 3, on the reunion stage, we had saw Tisha and Melody, and I have an opinion about what happened since then. When it did go down, I wasn't clear, and I had asked a whole lot of questions. Of when I interviewed Vanessa, I asked her. When I talked to Melody, interviewed her, I asked her. I didn't get a chance to ask anybody else though. Oh no, I did ask Kiki as well. And then it became a little more clear when I actually talked to Kiki. And if y'all missed that interview, please check it out. It'll probably shed some light on some things. But in season 3, Tisha and Melody during the season seemed okay. Tisha had come to Melody's house. She dropped off that bottle of champagne that they sell. A housewarming. It wasn't a housewarming. I think it was a taco party. Destiny knocked on the door. She was big mad. Had come to the party late. Got there. She was upset that Melody seemed to be taking Tiffany's side. And when she sat at the table, she was hot. She was pissed. She was talking in a way that we had not seen Destiny and Mel speak with each other. In fact, Mel almost seemed confused during that season, because there were different moments that Mel and Destiny had where Mel was trying to appeal to Destiny, her soft side. If y'all recall, I think they were in Vegas, and Destiny was threatening Tiffany left and right. And I remember a conversation that Melody had with Destiny where she just sat down. She was kind of laughing, but it was a laughter like, what the hell? Destiny, this isn't even you. She said, I know you, girl. This isn't even you. What is going on? She had another conversation where she said, Destiny, let Tisha handle it. Why are you, what's going on? And Destiny said, you're taking Tiffany's side. I remember that. And I thought, this is so wild. This is so wild. I was so confused. I'm not going to lie. But you know what I did though? I chalked it up as, because I have a bachelor's of science degree. Y'all know that I was in the medical field for a long time. And I remember saying, I may have said this on the channel. I don't remember specifically what video it was around, but I said, I'm so confused by Destiny sometime, and it frustrates me because she's not letting us in to what's going on with her. But I actually said, Destiny is having some sort of emotional spaz where she is not able to articulate what's happening to her, and it's coming out in the ugliest of ways. Okay. No hats. Diana, no hats. Okay, I'll try, y'all. I'll try. I have to tell you, I don't necessarily like straight hair. I like to have, I like more textured hair. But you know, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Anyway, she said, after a while, I started to feel bad for her because I said, she's having an emotional breakdown. And it looked obvious to me. And I said, when she gets over this, she's going to look back at that and think, who the was I when all this was happening? And it's going to be forever on this platform. Right. And I remember saying that. I don't know which video. If y'all follow me, you may have heard me say it, or you remember me saying it. She's going to look back at that moment and think, what the, okay? Because it wasn't just on the show. It was on the show. It was on her lives. It was all the time. So she has since said that was it, that she was having some sort of emotional break. And if y'all need to go back and watch that scene with her, Kimmy, and Tisha, when they had, when she was at Madani and she couldn't even speak. And Tisha and Kimmy were like, so why won't you talk though? Well, what happened? And at one point, Tisha just started laughing because she was like, how are we supposed to drag information out of her? She is gone. Okay, she's gone. There's nothing here. She was screaming and acting a fool on the scene, on set. And even after that episode aired, I think on the reunion, Kimmy made the comment, I can't do it with her anymore. She said, you guys expect me to pull things out of her and I cannot. I cannot. It is not something I can do or that I'm even willing to do. I'm done. And she shut down even then. She just kind of stared a hole in Kimmy like, "Ooh, bitch." I was like, "Ooh," Kimmy said, "No, not anymore, child." Marceau made the comment, "Not Kimmy, like, calm down. You know, Kimmy's still trying to recover, child. She going through radiation and stuff. She can't do it. She can't do it." But I said all that to say, we saw that breakdown with Destiny and Melody in real time. A lot of us. And when everything, slammed together like a train, it was still unclear for the audience what was going on. Like, we did not know. And I told y'all already, a lot of the audience could not accept that Destiny and Melody weren't friends anymore. They did not like it. And they did hold a fake ass funeral for them when Mel went to visit Destiny, I think at some sort of photo shoot, and Mel had played Destiny's song, and she was like, "Girl, I was hoping that we could talk again, but at this point, I know there's no more space for you. I'm just in a different place." And it helped the audience move on a little bit. However, what we got in that last episode 15, the mid-season finale, that was the first time that Melody actually articulated this happened. That when it was going down, I didn't have words for it. I told y'all that, but she's saying it to you. I didn't have words for it when it was going down, when I was in it. But when I had a time to reflect on it, I thought, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this isn't the space I'm supposed to be in. And that happens to all of us. We don't think so. Like, you want to think that you can show up for yourself, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes things are happening to you and you are trying to figure out, why is this happening? What the fuck did I do? It doesn't feel good. I'm just going to pull back and try to figure this shit out. I'm going to try to figure it out. And sometimes it, a week or two, sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes a damn year. But when you get a chance to look at everything, the big picture of things, you'll be able to say, okay, I wasn't crazy, because that's really what it is. It's, am I fucking crazy when these things are happening to you? Am I crazy? What am I doing? Now, Mel explained her part of the breakdown, because if y'all remember, this is the other thing I want to point out. If y'all remember, when Destiny was being asked what happened, she said, ask her. Ask her. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Ask her. Now, I'm not saying that she did know. It could have been the same on her side. Maybe she was doing things and maybe she thought she was being slick about it, or maybe she just didn't know. Maybe she just realized, you know what? I need my own space. I'm having a mental breakdown. Allegedly. I don't want to put that on her, but I don't want to say that's what it was if that's not what it was. But looking back, that's what it appeared to be for me. She was going through this divorce stuff, and maybe she was having a mental breakdown. And perhaps her friendship with Melody was pushing buttons, because she felt like, I'm just saying this, my opinion, because she felt like Melody, even though they both got a divorce at the same time, Melody appeared to be more supported or established where she was, and she didn't. And maybe it was a little harder of a pill to swallow. Because when we see that scene, we don't hear Destiny's side of things. We only hear Mel's side of things. So when we hear that you got a village shit and all that rest, village gate, you don't support me in my village. Again, we're watching a TV show, so the audience is going to have opinions about that. The audience is going to have an opinion about that. And even if you don't feel like that is a fair opinion or true, that's how it appeared for a lot of us. That's how it appeared for me. And I don't know what else to tell you other than I can talk about what I see on TV all I want to. I can say what I want. Okay. That is all there is to it. But that's how it appeared to me. And so in doing that, shit happens. Things sometimes happen like that, right? Sometimes your friends, it's for a season. It is what it is. But the conversation about Melody not being able to keep friends or have friends or whatever these things are, it's been ongoing for a while. We saw Martell have a conversation with Destiny when both of them were going through their divorce. Both Melody and Destiny were going through divorce, where Martell goes to Destiny's house and say, you are my friend. You knew me first. Remember that when me and Melody are divorced, you were my friend first. We heard that on TV. This TV show is a footprint, baby, okay? We heard that happen. After Melody and Tisha make up in season 3, during the season, we see a scene with Tisha and Mel on the reunion stage where Tisha is staring a hole through Melody. A burning, I said the other day that if Martell was a dragon, he would have turned Tisha into barbecue during that first season dinner scene. Same for Tisha. If Tisha was a dragon, she would have breathed fire on Melody and turned her into barbecue on that damn reunion stage, 3rd season. That's a fact. Go back, look at it. I don't give a shit. Nobody can tell me different. Nobody can tell me different. She was like, I think that was when Tisha had on that orange tangerine dress, and she had that little bouffant pump on the top of her hair. Baby, she was like, bitch, I can't stand your ass. And I was like, what is going on? I remember Melody stood up out her seat and went and bent over Tisha. Tisha was sitting. Mel stood up out of her seat on the reunion. They were supposed to go to commercial. When they came back, they was like, baby, we putting this on the show. Put it on the show. Mel stood over Tisha and said, what is your problem? You and I didn't have any problems during the season. Girl, I was like, whoo, what the fuck? But nobody wanted to talk about what was going on. Nobody wanted to talk about what was going on. But Tisha ends up saying in that scene, Mel, I'm paraphrasing, Mel uses you when she needs you, and when she doesn't need you, she throws you away. She said something to that extent. Okay? She says that to her. And Melody kind of just, I can't even say what Melody was doing in that moment. Maybe she nodded, but she just looked like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I think Carlos asked a question of Destiny. Destiny, do you feel like, what's going on between you and Mel? And Destiny shrugged her shoulders and said, I don't know. I don't know what is going on between us, Melody. My friend, somebody I used to talk to every other day, isn't available to me anymore. And the shit just felt bad for people watching. I was just like, oh, this is wild. And I will never forget it. When I did that review, I said, they better bring some real friends on for Melody next season, because this shit felt awful. Awful. Okay? All right, fast forward. We got Stormy on the show. Okay? Retreat now, baby. Retreat. We got Stormy on the show. And I like Stormy. A lot of people was talking about she has a crass mouth and shit like that. I was like, I don't care. Like, who cares? We're different. We're not supposed to be the same. But to have someone who represents in that body as that soul have those kind of accomplishments is great for us. It's great for all of us. It means that we don't have to fit into whatever this white aesthetic mold is. And so that's important, that we don't attack each other for not fitting whatever the mold is. But somehow Melody and Stormy meet. They gave us a story, and I don't know if it's true or false at this point, but Stormy tells a story about how Melody, and I guess she just moved into the neighborhood. Melody drove to her home with this huge bouquet of flowers and, introduces herself, and somehow they became friends. Now, if there's a different story to this, they will tell it. I'm recanting, what I heard being told at the time. Okay, so stay with me, everybody. Stay with me. I'm recanting what I heard being told at the time. And that's, that was her entry into the show. We know that Melody had a video premiere party at Stormy's property. And that relationship went downhill rather quickly. People ended up finding comments online from her mother and things that was being said. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe the shit can move past this. Who knows? What else happened? People ended up finding, I guess, like a portfolio of Stormy's work, because she used to be a hairdresser. And part of her clients, if this is accurate, I should say alleged, part of the clientele was Martell's baby mama. So it looked like they may have had some history of friendship there. And then I think I recall Stormy saying that she doesn't know her. I think she kind of stayed with that. I don't know her. But my husband is good friends with, I think, a boyfriend of hers or someone she used to date. I don't know. Or maybe even Martell. I don't know. I'm going to say that part of the story, it's still foggy for me, but y'all can share it in the chat if y'all remember it, okay? But everything went downhill, like on a rocket. If it was a razor blade, baby, from the crack to the neck, you would have cut yourself wide open. Everything went downhill during an episode. I believe it might have been the mid-season finale for Martell's wine launch, the second wine launch that went down in Huntsville. During a live tweet of the show, Mel was tweeting the show. Stormy was at Mel's house where she was getting a massage. Things went, we get a couple of scenes in. Destiny has a cell phone where you overhear Melody's voice on a interview. And she's playing the interview from Martell on her phone. And Melody said something like, recording, or recording in the house. I'm not sure. Something about recording, though. And I never thought for 1 second, I didn't. And I'm trying to keep up with every damn body. I don't do that, by the way, anymore. I just want y'all to know I can't keep up with everybody the way I used to, because, life happens to all of us, child. So I had to back up for some of that stuff, because you be going to sleep, waking up, talking about, why am I dreaming about these people? Girl, get yourself a life, baby. But back then I was like, well, why would that happen? I was so outdone. But Miss Betty thought that Mel may have been accusing her daughter, Stormy. And I think it was because someone in the comments, someone made a tweet like, is it Stormy, or Stormy's the one recording? I don't know. Maybe they were watching the show late and didn't realize we was 85 scenes ahead, child. I don't know what happened, but the tweet went out, and I guess Mel didn't correct the tweet. Mel didn't correct the tweet. Okay, I'm gonna just continue on. I'm gonna tell y'all what I know. Mel didn't correct the tweet. And Stormy's mom was upset because she said, you're trying to ruin my daughter the way you ruined Destiny, I think is how she put it. Paraphrasing. And it just went all downhill from there, that whole Stormy Melody friendship relationship. Okay? But when Mel and Stormy get on stage, Stormy said, I like Melody during this moment where Martell tells her to retreat. I like Melody. And I've never had the problems with her that y'all say you claim you have. I want to get to know this for myself. But at this point, Tisha and and Destiny are kind of saying the same thing, that Melody can't maintain friendships or keep friendships. And Martell says it, and then he tells Stormy, there's no reason to do that. Go on ahead and retreat now, is how he puts it. And clearly that has sat with Melody for a minute. And sometimes some shit can play with your mind when someone's trying to make you out to be somebody. But all that shit was going on since season 3. We are in season 8. That's been going on since season 3, okay? Now we're in season 8. And in season 8, Melody opens the show with, her and Martell, of course. But then we get to that second episode, the Valentine's Day episode with her girlfriends, and they do this sleepover. And the conversation is, these people aren't your friends. These people aren't your friends. And we're all curious, like, well, where is this going to go? Because this has, it's been a running theme. Melly already said, I really don't fuck with y'all. Pardon my French. I don't fuck with y'all, though. We can be cool. We can continue to film on the show. And she said that just recently, within the last week. I go on, I work, I come home, but y'all don't know my real life. I don't F with y'all outside of what happens on the set. I enjoy filming, I go home. That's how she put it. Are we in a better place than we were before? Yes, that's how she put it. But she said at the end of the day, I don't do anything outside of that. And it is what it is. Okay. But in this scene, in season 8, it appeared to have been an establishing of who's a friend and who's not a friend, who I F with, how hard I F with them. And this has been playing on the show and now most recently online. Okay? Most recently online. And it looks like those last 2 episodes, episode 14 and 15 of season 8, is what got it started. However, the conversation has been going on all season and even before that, but I know it's been going on heavy all season long. We've been watching different clips, different interviews, different lives. And, as a blogger who does commentary, I've had people attack me about the shit I was saying. So it's been, go. We about to, this is go time. We talking about it. Okay. But you know who else has been talking about it? Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly. Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly has been talking about friendships on the show, Melody's relationships with everybody on the show, whether it's going to work, whether it's going to fail. And a lot of people, again, fans have been taking even that shit personally. Okay. So all of these things have happened. All of these things have happened. And now we get to this moment where I'm assuming that Melody believed that what happened when that text message came into her phone, according to her, that she has some sort of vindication. Maybe, maybe not. Now, she said this is what her beliefs are, that this that this text message that came in. Hold on one second. Do you permit us to speak on Kiki? Yeah, keep it light, y'all. Don't accuse anybody of anything. There's still people grieving very, very heavy Kiki. And so I don't want, well, let me stop, because I don't know who's reading this and I really don't want to trigger anybody. So if y'all don't mind, don't talk about Kiki in the chat. I'm happy I saw that, and thank you for asking. I just really want to allow people to grieve things the way they should grieve things, in a healthy way. Because this is really a personal thing that is going on with Mel. This is personal for her. Okay? This is personal for her. And I know it's personal because while she was communicating X, Y, and Z about her relationship with Stormy, she said, F you, okay? Except she said the words. We ain't friends no damn way, okay? We ain't friends, no way. She was letting people know this is a personal moment. So this is personal. Personal. Let's keep that in mind. Thank you to everyone. Yes, I'm asking that you keep Kiki out of the chat just because, you know, out of respect. Out of respect. I know people have different feelings, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to debate that in the comments today. Okay, let me get back to my thoughts. So I'm going to play a little bit of the commentary of the video that she did the other day. And then I'm going to sum up my thoughts on this, okay? So let's start with that. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Oh, damn. Hold on, y'all. The iPhone is great until you touch something you're not supposed to touch, because everything is touch screen. And then you end up losing all of your information that you had revved up and ready to go. So I apologize. Bear with me, child. Bear with me. We're almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Okay, let's play it. Hopefully y'all can hear this. I'm gonna play a little bit. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it. With someone who I may know whose number this is, I got 2K for it. Okay, if you heard her say she got 2K for it, she got 2K for it. It was so personal, child. She had offered $2,000 for anyone who had additional information on who this could be connected to. So if you heard that little part where she said 2K, put a 1 in the chat. That just lets me know that you heard it, because I want to make sure I can keep this volume up as loud as it is supposed to be. So I'm waiting to see if y'all heard it. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard it, a 2 in the chat if you did not. Okay. Okay. Thank you for listening. With someone who I may know whose number this is, I got 2K for you. Okay? 2K for you. Okay. So thank you guys for your patience as well. Thank you. Thank you. Proof of this number, conversation with this number with someone who I may know, right? Listening is fundamental. You know, like I already have the number. I already know the name because it popped up on Cash App and I said it out loud. So I didn't need that. So if you said that, no, I already had that. I already had that. Comprehension is key. It is. And let me tell y'all something. I'm not upset about it. It's an amazing day. I personally would have loved for someone, you know, that's why I offered it. I would have loved for someone to have been able to say, girl, so I'm friends with such and such, and girl, here's the proof where they've been texting for 3 months, girl. This is who it is. I would have loved it. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. People hear what they want to hear. Yeah, they do. They hear what they want to hear. So anyway, now we're going to get into a little piece, because then, you know, there's some things that started coming down the pipeline. Now, let's be clear. We all know that sometimes you can have a number, and when you look that number up, it could still show the person who had the number prior to you. It could, you know, that could still be. I remember one time when they first started like putting names on phones when you would call. I remember there was a different name that would show up every time my mama would call. And I was like, what? And it would show up because that's who had the number prior to. I think they done worked on that a little bit. But I remember when that happened, when they first started doing that. And the number, whoever had it prior to, that name would still show up. Okay.
it will still show up. So I understand that you can get a number and the old name show up. I can also understand that you could get a number in somebody else's phone. I'm very much aware of Google, like, the little Google, what do they call? It's Google something, Google numbers or something, right? My mama said yes, and it still does. Yeah, so it's still, see, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I understand that. Google Voice, that's it? Google Voice, yes, that's it. So, anyway, and Sean, because I'm gonna talk, drop some stuff, then we can do product for 20 minutes, and then we'll drop the message sent to a phone in my home that belongs to one of my children. And they were pretty much talking about me, right? And so that is how all of this began. And it became okay, who is this? Who is talking about me, texting this to my child's phone? Then it became hold up. Keep in mind, your ex's once mistress had this phone for a while.
Okay, there's the message. Y'all see it. This is the message that came across to the phone that the son currently has. Her son currently has. Hey, girl, my jaw is on the floor from last night's episode, but I'm so glad Destiny called her out. She tried to lie and blame Martell, but Destiny said, I was there with you. Her excuses were weak AF. And then I can't even see it because I got this line across it. She mad because Destiny is still his friend. And she probably thought y'all were already cool, is how it was written. Okay. And so that is the message, which has to do with the show. And Melody herself said, it's not horrible. It's not like a criminal offense. She was talking about whoever this person was talking about the show, but she wants to know who the fuck is having this conversation talking about me. That, you're glad Destiny called me out, quote, you're glad that the excuses were weak AF, all of those things, right? So it's triggered her. It's triggered her, and all the shit that's, led up into this very moment, because like I said, it was clearly personal. All the shit that's been going on since season 3 has come to a boil. When you say Tennessee Girl, what triggered it? It's all come to a boil. This text is the boil. The roof has blown off the house. And not only has the roof blown off the house, she more than likely, she already said it, I ain't going to say more than likely, she said, I kind of had a clue who sent it. Okay. But she's asking people to help her find or confirm that it was that person, right? And so this is what she puts up there. And she said, I got 2,000 for anybody who can confirm what I already know. Who can confirm what I already fucking know? Okay? That's how she put it. Now, we're going to finish up because listen, the conversation on this screen is no different than the conversations that we all were probably having, whether you were for or against, you were having it because the show that season finale, it finale'd. It did what it was supposed to do. But she's curious who is sending this to a phone that her son has that could, like I said at the beginning, why would that phone number still be attached to a phone? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay, let's keep playing.
Right? Okay. So they don't know that my child has their phone back. Obviously, the person texting. So for those of you who are throwing out things like, I think it's coleslaw. I never did. Just so you know, I never did think that it was coleslaw because it wouldn't make sense.
So she said coleslaw was already given a pass. We know it's not coleslaw. Why would coleslaw text her own phone and, get her ass in a sling? So no, not coleslaw.
That doesn't make sense, right? So I never thought that. What I will say is, when I came live and y'all said 662 is Mississippi, I'm like, okay, well, there's only one person kind of that I know, but no, definitely not. No. It's only one person I know associated with this show from Mississippi. But again, I'm like, nah.
So there's only one person that she knows associated with the show. So she immediately thought that whoever sent the text was associated with the show. Okay, not a random, but someone associated with the show.
Definitely not, right? No. And then I'm like, whoever it is sounds a little stuffy. So that made it a little difficult, right? But I was still like, I don't think y'all was in the chat saying that. Y'all in the chat typing her name. Y'all was in the chat saying, oh, Mississippi, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there's only one person I know associated with this show from Mississippi. And there's only one person, when I think of that person, I think I was like, okay, so there have been all these rumors and conversation, right, about how these two are friends, or been friends and been knowing each other and been cool, and how all this stuff was a plot setup. I have seen those videos, okay? I've seen the videos. So I know that's what y'all been saying. So, but I was still like, no, we finna get to work, baby. Y'all finna help me figure it out, because I don't believe that. No, right? And so, honestly, real talk, I never really had spoken out about all these different rumors for real of Mel. It was a setup the whole time. The goal was to get in, get coleslaw on the show, blah, blah, blah. I've got DMs like that. I've gotten, for a while now, probably a year or two, DMs like that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm still, y'all know, because I be looking for the good in people. I really do. And I think that's why so many times people, when I walk away, because let's be clear, you put one person down who walked away from a friendship with me. From a friendship with me. What I notice is when I walk away, it don't go too well. People are not happy about it. So I also find the narrative of Melody can't keep friends, which, to be real with you, y'all who be wanting some friends like some of these things going on. I ain't trying to be funny, but if this what y'all consider good friends, friendship, and all of this, y'all got some low-ass standards. Be doing the most, and I don't even be knowing they out here doing the most. But I will say this again, if there is someone who can show me where a friend walked away from me, not me stop talking to them, not me pulling back from them. If y'all can find a friend who walked away from Melody, then start saying Melody can't keep friends. Can we just agree on that? Is that okay? I'm looking at y'all in the chat. Can we agree on that? Hell, like, let's be real. I even walked away from my ex. I didn't get left. I left. And then after I left, was still being begged to this day to come back. So, listen, people gonna hate, haters gonna hate, and demons gonna do what demons gonna do. But can y'all do me a favor and just try to do it a little bit better? Because at this point, it's super pathetic. It's super ridiculous. Y'all always throw stuff out your mouth with no facts, no proof. And it don't, if you just, and that's why I love my millimeters, because they are critical thinkers. They are critical thinkers. And if you do just a little bit of critical thinking, you'll be like, hold on. Wait a minute. But Melody is always the one who stopped dealing with people because she peeped whatever or her spirit felt whatever, and she pulls back to see so she can. Because when you in something, you can't really see it when you're in it. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle, like of people manipulating you, people lying to you when you're in it. It's easy to be in that cycle, and before you know it, you are in a cycle. That's why my boy wrote that song "Cycles." Jonathan McReynolds. And said, I'm not going in cycle. You will be in a cycle. So I will step back so that I can see. So I can see bird's eye view. Okay? And then people get mad. Because they don't want you to get out where you can see. Because you probably going to start seeing some stuff they've been doing. So anyway, that's a challenge for this week. I can't.
So that's true for everybody. Go on ahead and step the hell back if it's something doesn't feel right so that you can get the best perspective for you and protect yourself. Your intuition guides you. Your discernment guides you. No one else, okay? If someone's saying they're doing something and you don't feel like doing it, don't do it because God is telling you it may be okay for them to do whatever it is they're doing, but you're not supposed to. So you're supposed to follow your discernment, your intuition, your instinct. But anyway, long story short, y'all, she said that this entire season, because Tennessee Girl said, I wonder what triggered this. She said this entire season has felt like an attack on me and my fan base. She said the entire season felt like an attack on me and my fan base. And because of it, she has been probably spiraling a little bit. We've seen her spiral. I'm going to call it spiraling, where she's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Okay. And she believes that this phone call or this text message has come from Stormy. Now she didn't show anything other than what she showed was the text message itself. Let me put it up. She showed the text message itself. Hold on, y'all. I don't know how to work my own damn equipment. She put up the text message where she said, listen, look at the text message. It says, hey, girl, my jaw on the floor from last night's episode. And she said that she knows someone who has a pattern of speaking a certain way. And then she showed a text from Stormy where it says dated August 14th, 2022, where it starts, hey. And she said, this is how this person speaks. Hey. Okay, this is what she's saying is confirmation for her. Then she also said that this phone has a Mississippi area code. I don't know anything about Stormy and her phone numbers. So let me start there. There's some people, if depending on who you watch on YouTube, who will say that's not Stormy's phone. Stormy hasn't come out and said, has not come out and I think addressed that specifically, but she said there's people who are saying that's not Stormy's information. That's not her phone. And Mel's saying this phone is registered to a Mississippi area code. And also the way the text came through as hey, she's saying there's a person associated with the show who may be also associated with my ex-husband's baby mama. And that is how she is tying these two things together. Okay. And what has triggered all of this is that she feels like this 8th season on the show was an attack against her and an attack against her fan base. Okay, so that's what she is saying. Let's see. Oh, someone's having a spiraling. I don't know about that. The people who don't like Mel have been saying the same thing. I wonder what y'all see that I don't. Just curious. Well, what I see is that Mel doesn't address this kind of stuff back to back. And when I see anyone, not just Mel, but when I see someone who is having conversations every other day or saying this is what I'm bringing to you as receipts, then it makes me think that maybe something has switched. So before, and I would say before since 5th season, she's been very reserved and not addressing everything that happened on the show. So what appears to be happening now is she's getting it out. This is what I think is going on. She feels the need to say that. She is going onto platforms and having those conversations. So yes, when you see someone switch from being one mode to another, that is what I'm saying. And that is just my opinion. That's just my opinion. No one else's. You don't have to agree. But I feel like there was a change from what we had previously seen. And I've said this already. She was not promoting the show. She wasn't even discussing the show. And then it came to particular scenes on the show that made her address it and say, no, absolutely. I don't fuck women. Do y'all know me to fuck a woman? Like, she's getting it out there because she feels like this, whatever these things are happening, she feels like it is an attack. And so she wants to address it and stand up for herself. That's what I mean by it. So this is what went down. So thank you. I just want to share that. Again, it is my opinion. It does not make it true. It's just what I have seen and based on my life experiences. Okay. So she's getting out here and saying absolutely not. Okay. So I'm going to have these conversations. And anytime anybody put a $2,000, anytime someone says, I'm paying you $2,000 to come up with some information on to see if this is accurate. Okay. That feels like someone who's like, bitch, we gonna see. Okay. So she's definitely putting the information out there. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is what she's saying. The conversation that has been had all season long, not just on the show necessarily, but also with possibly Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly saying there's no way that Mel's going to get along with anybody on this show. Just give her own show. Go on ahead and set up a show in Atlanta. Give her own show. I think that is weighing on her and is making her feel away. And when people are like, who did it start with? We know who it started with. Retreat now. Okay. Making a person seem like they are difficult to work with, possibly. Difficult to, be friends with. I don't know, but she feels a way about it and she's putting it out there. And we don't even know what's going to happen in the next part of the season because it ended with this girls trip being continued for November. So we're going to get this girls trip. We're also going to get this scene between Melody and Stormy. What is the scene going to be? We don't know. Stormy quit the show already. Stormy quit the show. Okay. She doesn't work there anymore. They got this scene. So we are going to see her in the second half. We know that Courtney's taping scenes with Martell. We know that Stormy is still going to be a part of this girls trip. And Stormy's going to have a conversation about something that happened to her at her warehouse with a fan of the show, a fan that likes Melody. So we're going to get to see all of this play out. But I think for Mel, she feels like she is being attacked. And so she's coming out and saying shit about it. She's saying things about it. We're going to see what happens next. But Stormy did make a comment. Is she responding directly to what's happening? Possibly. She is aware that she is in the news cycle. She's a part of the algorithm where people are calling her out and saying, you sent a text about this TV show to someone that you thought owned the phone. And this is the conversation. And I'm going to say alleged because Mel said this is who she believes it to be, but I don't think she said specifically it's 100% guarantee. But let's look at what Stormy has responded to. Let me look at your comments first, child. I looked at one comment. Let me read the other ones because y'all have a lot to say over here in the comment section. Enough is enough. She's human. I don't blame her. I would expose her too. I mean, listen, I'm going to say this. I know people, if you don't put yourself out there like this, I feel like even though I'm not on television, putting yourself on a platform like YouTube where you are talking and sharing opinions and doing things, you're going to get people who like you. You're going to get people who don't like you. And I told y'all this maybe last year. If you are a paranoid personality, you should not be on YouTube because the shit that people say about you and wield at you is it could sink you. And y'all hear all kinds of stories about people who are on social media who might, be up one day, down the next, and then they take them, they unalive themselves. You got to have a strong personality. You have a not even a personality, you have to have a strong mind to know what to keep and what to throw away. But it's no different than being on any platform. So thank you for that. When people are saying, listen, shit happens, and it might make you feel away because she downplayed Martell's charges and going to look foolish. I don't know if that was for me. I'm sorry about that. What no unhinged sector of Mel's fan base? That's the other side hating their lies. And as Mel said, pulling up to her house, and Mel isn't desperate. Stop that lie. Well, I'm going to say there are fans that do take it. There are fans that take it over the top. And we've seen that. We can't say that we didn't see that. We've seen that all last year. The fans, there were some fans that were suing each other, fans suing each other, content creators suing people. Content creators are fans of the show too, child. Let's keep that in mind. So y'all saw a lot of content creators sue people. Y'all saw fans of the show sue people. It does not matter if they call themselves millimeters or not, but there are some fans that are over the top. That's true. I'm going to say I agree with whoever said that. And I've experienced it for myself, period. And there's nothing you can take away from me with that. There's people who are just taking it a little bit too far. But I am sharing with y'all what I think triggered the situation. I think that the conversation being had all year long about the friendships and whether or not she can keep a friend. And I've had a friend for 30 years. I've had a friend for 24 years. I've had a friend for this. I think that after a while, the shit wears on you. And sometimes this is how it, manifests itself. Stormy quit because she attacked someone, allegedly. Stormy quit because she attacked someone. Okay. Marceau successfully ran Stormy up out of there. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to rewind a little further. There was a fan that recorded Destiny's house. There's fans out there that may push the button a little bit. That pushed the button a little bit. And that applies to everybody, not just the Melody fan base or the whatever fan base. There's fans that take it a little far. I think they call them stans. Okay. Let's see. All right. So let's talk about what Stormy had to say. Let me put it up. That print might be really small, but I'm going to read it for you. Hold on. Okay. So after all this went down yesterday, after everything had been put out there, this was her first post. She said, sitting here with my rose retinol eye patches on before the night and just truly overwhelmed with gratitude. Sometimes things happen in our lives that we don't expect, don't make sense, etc. We have seasons where things fall apart only to come back together as art. That's been my life these last 4 years, and I'm truly so thankful God allowed me to experience all the seasons. I learned as much during the bad years as I did during the good years. It's truly shaped me into who I am today. And I'm really proud of who I am because of the faith I've acquired. I feel the closest to being of God than I ever have. And this makes me happy. I know my steps are ordered and I know my calling is great. And I'll always move with a level of understanding. So this is how she is communicating after all of these events that happened yesterday and even Sunday night, because it started on Sunday. To know the journey is to live it. To live the journey is to believe the journey is to dream it. To dream the journey is God's plan. Have an anointing over your life and to understand the path that is only for you. Okay. So she's basically saying that does not, in my opinion, whatever's going on can't affect her God-given purpose, okay? And then also just saying, he who leaves everything in God's hand will soon see God's hands in everything. Okay, so those were the comments that she had left on her own page, after all of these events went down. So we're going to see what happens next, because it's not over, you guys. That's the first thing. It's not over. There has been an accusation here. There's literally, she's saying it was you. I know it was you. I know it was you who called my son's phone. She called her out. And then not only did she call her out, she said, fuck you. Okay. I think she was like, the fuck. And then she said, fuck you. I know it was you. We ain't friends, okay? And she tried to explain the history, basically saying Melody is saying she feels it was a plot and it was a setup. It was a plot and a setup, and you were never my friend. You were never my friend. And you simply, maybe she feels she was used. Maybe she feels she was used, and now she has a better perspective of what is happening. Perhaps that is how she is saying it right now. Okay. Now, even though those comments went up from Stormy following, like shortly after that live, Stormy has not come out and said, I didn't do it. She didn't come out and say, I did do it. She hasn't said shit outside of the post that I read you. Okay. Not I did it, not I didn't do it. Okay. Not confirming, not denying. Simply, I'm not going to let anyone take me off my perch. I have a purpose, and I'm sticking with whatever this purpose is. That is how she's saying it. So we're going to see. We're going to see how this shit plays out, or if it plays out next season. Okay. But it looks like she is calling to the carpet production, possibly, because there has been a narrative that she said has played out for the last 3 seasons. If you're a fan of the show, you know, or you watch the show, you've seen this happen. I just gave y'all a detailed version of a whole bunch of shit that went on this show that kept this narrative going. So she said it. And now she's saying, at the end of the day, I feel like there was a plot that was started by my ex. Let me put this down. Hold on. That was started by my ex, where I was made to feel crazy when I know that I didn't do these things. I didn't do these things. And for a lot of people, they might feel that it is still a narcissistic attack that is still playing out by Martell, and people who think Melody is hard to deal with, or whatever the case may be more inclined to believe Martell. And she's saying, I'm gonna expose and say and call out whatever the shit is that is happening, so that y'all can see it too. Okay? Let's see. You forgot the video where she ran to show how she speaks. I didn't forget it. I'm purposely not playing that video because I feel like in the aftermath of this shit, there may be a situation where people's channels get struck, and I don't want to do that on this. But thank you for putting that up, because I will put it over on my IG stories. If y'all have not heard it already, it'll be on my IG stories. I just don't want anyone coming after me, striking channels later, because they feel, oh, this person put it on her channel and she didn't have permission. So I did not forget. She did play audio of someone saying hello, and I actually played it on my channel maybe yesterday or the day before, because someone said it was me that had the call, or they suggested it was me. They said, oh, DR has a sinus infection. Baby, I was grieving my damn dog. And unfortunately for me, stress affects my vocal cords. It affects my vocal cords first. And people who know me, my family, they know that. But you have to, fight your own battles, child. It is what it is. But I did put it on my on my IG channel, and I'll put it back over there so that y'all can see it. Y'all can hear that. It'll be up for 24 hours. And then you know how IG works in the stories. It will be erased. But I don't want anything happening to my video. Okay, so this is commentary. Everybody does commentary. A commentary means opinion. All things are alleged. Okay, even though we may play things that are factual, show y'all things that are factual, we are coming to a conclusion based on a series of events or facts that led us here. Okay. So what has led me here is that I had to think about this. When did I first hear all of this shit play out? When did everybody start becoming Melody's not a friend, Melody's not this, that, and the other? It started, I think, in season 3. That's my opinion. In season 3 reunion, that's when all the shit went down, and then people start coming out and saying more and more and more. And Melody feels it is an orchestrated attack. Okay. And so she's putting it out there. Now, I don't give a shit who thinks what, why, when, where, and that's how she's playing it. Okay. To the point of where it's become so personal for her. She offered money, $2,000, in order to have, some people come in and give her even more proof. And I think that even more proof may have been a video of Stormy. I think she was at the airport and her husband bought a Tesla truck to the airport. I don't remember if I think maybe it was Mother's Day. It was a Mother's Day gift or a birthday gift. And he picked her up in the Tesla truck. And so you heard Stormy say in the video that is posted on her IG, "Oh my God, my husband surprised me." And then she said, "My jaw dropped to the floor." And in this post, she said, "Girl, my jaw dropped on the floor." And Melody's saying, because this person used a similar phrase, because she started the post, "Hey, hey," in a text that was sent to a phone that belongs to her son. And then she also says, "Hey, hey," in a text that was sent directly to her back in 2022. Melody is coming to the conclusion that it was Stormy who sent the text, that it was Stormy that sent the text. That is what she believes. Okay. And she's willing to stand on that. That is how she's putting it. "I'm standing on it. I'm calling the person's name out. I don't give a flying hoot." Okay. And if I'm lying, come back at me. Okay. Come back at me if I'm lying. And as of today, that has not happened. At least I haven't seen it happen. If it's happened since we've been on live, cool. But it was not a part of those stories that I just showed you, and I didn't see it on live. Okay. So just an FYI. Let's see. "We can't be so unbiased in our commentary that we refuse hard lines of facts." Well, Darlene, tell me what the hard lines of facts are. So saying that Stormy is vindictive. I didn't say that, but I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. So I'm going to keep scrolling through. I don't know anybody, but what I do know is that nobody better sue me for any fucking thing. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes people get their panties in a bunch and they start suing people. And I don't want to be sued for any bullshit. So I'm trying to give y'all what I saw on this show and what I saw happen on Sunday and Tuesday. And y'all can make your own opinions. But at the end of the day, this shit all started with this person right here who was telling people to pick your friends on the show, and then also trying to pull Melody outside of this friendship group. But Melody is saying that she believes, this is her belief, this is her personal feelings, that it was Stormy who sent this text to her son's phone. That is what she said. And I believe that I said that. I also said that who switches a phone without making sure that that child is protected? You shouldn't be giving people the phone unless you change the phone number. Kama said, I would, if I'm pronouncing that right, I would bet money that there is more evidence on that phone and Melody is keeping it to herself for now. You could be right. At the end of the day, these people aren't going to give us everything. They are not giving us everything. They are going to give us what they think you need to know, and then they'll keep everything to themselves. And if you are a blogger, you know this, right? But my job is to give you an opinion and then not do anything more that because I don't have the proof, but I can get my ass sued for not having the proof. Let's see what Shonda says. Shonda said, the fact that everyone is plotting on Melody is diabolical, which proves for me that it is beyond a toxic work environment. Okay. She said it is beyond a toxic work environment, baby. Now, I'm going to say this just because I like to give a balanced perspective. Melody actually has said that she feels comfortable in the space, but she says she's going to call people out. We all know, we all watch reality TV. Sometimes we think that what happens on this show is the only space that it happens in. It's not. However, this show is literally on everybody's mind 365 days a year. It actually plays out more than any show on any TV show, on any network. So we don't always talk about our HOA 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We do talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville that way. So everything is a part of the news cycle. It's always a part of the news cycle. Let's see. You're right, Diana. And also, I want to say thank you to Shonda for blessing the channel, and I appreciate you. I did not say that, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are right, Diana. Mel has said it several times that Martell puts a battery in people's backs. She said that they put a battery in people's backs. She also said that at the end of the day, and I heard her say just the other day, she said that she felt at this point in time that she was in a good place with people. She is calling out Stormy. She is calling out Stormy based on a text that she said she received on Sunday. Is that right? Based on a text that she received on Sunday. Was Sunday the 12th? And she said, at the end of the day, this is how I feel. She feels that way. Ain't nothing gonna change it. Okay. But I don't have to have, Stormy has not responded. And we're going to see outside of what I showed y'all, Stormy hasn't come out and said, I didn't do it. And she didn't come out and said, I did do it. What you going to do about it? She didn't say one or the other. And you blame CK for the toxic work environment. What happened off the show is just as captivating as what's happening on the show. That's why you follow it. None of the shit happened on the show that Melody put out there the other day. None of that happened. What actually happened is on social media. And this is what keeps this show in the news cycle, Monday through Sunday. And it's unfortunately for us, there are some that can't separate the two. Melody had a personal moment. I said that already. It was so personal that she put $2,000 on it. This is some shit I'm going to find out. And she put it out. But it did not happen on the show. It didn't happen on the show. They've stopped filming. They wrapped for the season. The second half of the season won't have any part of what we're all talking about right now in it. None of it will be in it. This is off the show bullshit, okay? At the end of the day, we're all looking at what happened off the show. They were about to recast anyway, so they can go. I wouldn't go. Listen, we have to see if it even shows back up. We have to see if it even shows up. The Carson Blue stuff wasn't on the show. It appears the Scotts are finally calling Martell out for what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. Listen, a lot of people have been saying there is some more stuff that is going on. We see what's going down with Melody and Stormy, but people are saying that there's some shit that is going on with Martell and Marceau. There's even more behind the scenes stuff that is happening that may be shaking this cast. Okay. Wonder when Tisha is going to get hers, knowing what Carson Blue told her about the revenge P. So do y'all think that, and I've heard Melody say this, I'm just asking, if Carson Blue didn't show up, what do y'all think would have happened? What do you think would have happened if Carson Blue did not share what she shared? Because everything would have still moved forward. What do you expect her to say? She is indeed in a toxic work environment. People will say the opposite to keep the peace and their jobs. Melody doesn't need that job. Melody doesn't need to work on that show. She said that. She said that in fourth season. She's fine. She said that she lives a great life. She doesn't need that job. So she's not working the same job that you may work. But she also said that she understands where she is in that space. So she could change her mind. Maybe she feels differently today than she did yesterday and the day before. But what she said is that she goes onto the set, she films, she does her job, and she goes home and does her business. She said that multiple times on her platform within the last 2 weeks. So we'll see. She is holding the cards. She has an amazing story. She's holding the cards. She can take any of this to court anytime she feels like it, including today. But what she is doing is deciding to share whatever this story is that she feels is going on with her on her social media platforms. That's what she's doing now. So we're going to see how it plays out. I think sometimes we put ourselves in the same boxes, and it may not be the same box. And she said that too, okay? Things that may happen to you may not be happening to her. So that we have to keep that in mind too. Let's see. Martell kept that number active because he was somehow using it to see Coleslaw's conversations, and I'm sure that he's tracking Melody when Tank has it. Damn. Okay. I know that you guys have already sent her all of this good information. I know y'all already sent her all that good information so she can make sure that she is staying safe. She said that she doesn't let the phone in her house. She took it from her son, so I'm sure that if she took it from her son, she was protecting her home and her house, which is how she got, or her home and her space, which is how she got the message in the first place. CK is definitely diabolical. He incited Sonny and Moses' storyline. He brought them to Mel's podcast. So unrelated, now is hiding his hand for orchestrating the Sonny and Moses saga. The Sonny and Moses saga. How do y'all think that Sonny and Moses got on the show? Do you think that he tell me how you think Sonny and Moses got on the show. Let's start with that. How do you think Sonny and Moses got on the show? We'll start there. Stormy is preparing her big live event. That's what Booked and Busy looked like. Okay. Hold on. Simone is still talking. Everyone on the cast and production has plotted an evil, sinister thing against this woman. Okay. Simone, I think that words count, and I respect what you have to say. I don't speak like that over people personally, because I think that what you say over people does affect them. And I said this the other day, you don't have to feel this way at all. But part of the reason why I run the channel the way I run it is because saying that someone is always in a space of danger is heavy, and speaking it over them is also heavy. Even though you say this all the time, Melody doesn't say this. And I can play y'all video after video where she starts the video by saying, I'm having an amazing day. I love being with my children. I'm on vacation. I'm doing this. And sometimes because we hear things a certain way, we'll just push the worst of something on someone and assume that that's their experience all of the time. She films the show 6 months out of a 12-month year. They film 6 months out of 12 months. And she's been filming 6 out of 12 months, I guess, since season 1. We're in season 8. So I don't know. I don't think that she would allow herself to do that. I don't think that. I don't think that. But that's just me. But I understand that not everybody is me, okay? But for my sense of I don't know, watching the show and knowing what I watch, I don't resonate with that part. I resonate with the part where she says, I'm having a fantastic day. I made $78,000 today. What else? I'm on vacation. I'm doing with this with the kids. She's laughing, she's joking. She seemed to have more better times than not. So I don't know. That's just my personal thought. I don't know if anybody could do that back to back to back to back to back. I think that at one time, that when she was going through her divorce with Martell, that shit was super heavy because she was sharing that part of her life on the show. But I also think that now, I think that what she said before, if not just 4 days ago, what happens on set is on set. And when I leave there, my home life is not what happens on set. It's not what happens on set. What happened this past season, even, we didn't really even see Mel have any conflict or interaction with anybody in a bad way until those last 2 episodes. And it seemed to have been with Destiny. So that was just that one person. She didn't film with Martell. Even that little back and forth she had with Marceau, it wasn't horrible. It was actually more comic relief. Let's see. He would have released the RP if it wasn't for Carson. You think so? That he would have released the RP? When Carson talked about it, she said that it happened the year before. So she talked about a conversation that had happened the year before. And we all were a part of that conversation. Melody actually herself said when it happened, y'all can go back and listen to the podcast. She said when that shit happened, she let him slide. She said, y'all was fucking with me. I let you slide. I gave you a pass. Then all of a sudden, the next year, when Carson was on the show and all of that shit came out, she said, I was tired of y'all fucking with me. I was tired. I had already given you a pass. When you did it the first time, I let it go. Now, all of a sudden, you still out here yip-yapping and talking. So I'm going down to the police station, okay? And she took down that picture. She took down that text message. And that's why his ass is in a sling. But that was something that happened the year before, August 22nd. And y'all saw that. And then the year before that is when he talked about a lot of people associate what he talked about on the show when he said, y'all keep this audio because I have a picture of Melody. That was the year before. So that was 2 years before. Does that mean that he didn't do it? Because I don't condone any of the shit that he did. What I'm saying is, if it wasn't for Carson bringing it up, then Melody wouldn't know what she knows now. That, Martell was going to stoop that low. He was going to stoop that low at one point. But the year that it happened was in 2022 when he sent it to Melody, and Melody herself said, when he did it, I let it slide. I let it slide. They were in that back and forth, that heated discussion online on their stories. They were telling their story back and forth. And then Melody makes the post, Revenge P really, because he showed a picture of him, of the two of them in an intimate situation. She didn't show us the picture. She didn't even let us know what the shit was. She didn't say anything. She kept it to herself. It was revealed through the internet, and then she came on and confirmed it. And then she went to the police station. I think that was maybe been May. She went to the police station in July. And everybody was talking about it nonstop on every YouTube channel. Everybody was talking about it. It never stopped being talked about. And she probably had enough time to sit on it and say, you know what, this was fucked up. This was fucked up. And I'm going to, do something about it. I said to you guys, people may not even know that the laws have changed. You know what I'm saying? There was a time when this wasn't even a part of our reality, sending pictures and stuff like that. It wasn't even a part of our reality, right? Shit showing up online wasn't a part of our reality. When I was going to school, we still had Polaroids, okay? And there was a girl who unalived herself in my school because a Polaroid of something she had done with her boyfriend, she brought to school, and that Polaroid ended up circulating. And she was so embarrassed that that summer she unalived herself. I won't say her name, but that happened, right? And now this shit happens so freaking often. It's like just a natural part of every day. It's a part of the everyday fabric of things. That doesn't mean that it should happen. Let's start there. Doesn't mean that it should happen. No one is saying that it should happen. But I do think that that thing that started was it got reeled in because of Carson. She was able to put some light on some shit. Hold on. There's people who is still talking. Hold on. Hold on. What Diana is saying for the slow people is that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, that is what I'm saying. I don't like to speak bad things over people. I don't. And again, I may not be the channel for you, but I don't do that over here. I don't speak horrible shit over people. I don't say that their life is horrible and all those things. I try to resonate with what's good and what's good in people. Even though bad things happen, I can point that out, but I don't like to speak horrible things over people. 1000%. Let's see. Sunny asked CK if she can come back as a producer, and he said she can come back as a cast member, and she chose to come back as a cast member. Okay, well, good for Sunny. Let's see. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you, Miss Tina. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. I'm just telling you what I thought I saw. They've been filming since January. That is true. They have been filming since January. They wrapped up filming maybe a week and a half ago. Two things can be true at the same time. Melody is happy. However, her work environment, from what I can see, is toxic. Okay. And that's okay too. I did not hear her specifically say it like that. I think she said she's been having a good time, but I also understand that when you hear the bad side of shit all the time, every single day, that, we're human. So we will hear the bad too. We can feel the heaviness of it too. But I appreciate your comment, Shonda. Thank you for blessing the channel again, baby. I appreciate you. And then I also want to thank All Good in the Hood, okay, for blessing the channel. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Yes, I will probably, I try to resonate with what's good, and I speak about what's good, but I do understand y'all listen to a lot of content creators. There's some people who feel a certain way, and you may feel a certain way. That is what makes us all different, child, and ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I appreciate that. That Sunny Moses Destiny storyline is made up, as is the Trisha storyline regarding Melody. It makes sense for you to stay if you need, hold on, if you said you don't need it, why stay in a toxic environment with them? I think if I can, this is what I think that I've heard her say on a couple of different occasions. Y'all know that when Melody was going through her divorce, things were a lot heavier when she was going through the divorce, right? And I've heard her say that. Things were heavy for me. I was trying to get over a heartbreak, and she did it all publicly. And she said this a gazillion times. Now she's over that heartbreak, right? That's what she said. I'm over the heartbreak. You're looking at things from a different perspective. Part of what she does is to come on and give people a show, right? To come on and give people a show. But for the most part, the plots and the things like that, it isn't the same, but she is getting to the bottom of this I don't have a friend story, which was started in season 3 and then moved its way into 8th season. It's been pretty much ongoing, and it's been ongoing this season, including her and her friendship group saying, at the end of the day, these people aren't your friends. These people aren't your friends. But Melody already stating this in season 5. I am not going to engage people the way I did before. but we can continue to film together and keep the show going. That is what she has said. Now, she also said, I don't have any hope for the future of the show, which sounds to me like she, I ain't here to keep it on the air. I'm not going to try to take it off the air, but nobody's going to take me off the air. So you're not going to remove me from the show before, it's time to leave the show. So that's how I'm taking it at this point. But I don't think that it is putting her in a place where when she leaves, like probably a lot of people who go to work, because I used to do human resources, I used to hire and fire for a medical business. People who have a hard time at work, they carry that hard time at work home, and they may not have an opportunity to go on vacation and all that other shit. So sometimes you can't get away from it. If they are filming 6 months out of the year and you are a mother and you don't need to do this job, you aren't required to make that money. You're not required to do it. I think that I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt in knowing that she has found a way to be healthy, that she has therapists and other things that she is counting on that the everyday person that does a 9-to-5 does not have. I just don't think that someone would put themselves in that situation on a daily basis if that wasn't true. And they don't actually film daily. They film, when they're called to film. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Dyana, thank you for your amazing commentary. You and everyone have a safe and blessed weekend. So should you. Thank you. I hope you do too. But a lot of things have changed. Their lives are not the same as they were before, right? Carlos is going to have to fire Mel. You think so? Carlos is going to have to fire Mel. She will ride this baby to the wall, to the wheels fall off. They are coworkers and they're not friends. And they've all said that. And Melody even said as a part of the whole, she said, the people who are telling you they are friends aren't friends. They aren't friends. They're just not saying that they're not friends. But we are all coming to work and doing what we're supposed to do and going home. Must add that she enjoys doing what she does. The good surpasses the bad. Okay, thank you, Chronic. I think I know who the Chronic is. I think you changed your name on me because I'm like, who did I give a rinse to named Chronic? But I think you are my friend, child, and I appreciate you. You are my internet friend, and I appreciate you for coming over and saying that. That is a good point. At the end of the day, the good outweighs the bad. The good outweighs the bad. I'm going to let Simone get this one off and I'll leave it here. She said, I'm not playing semantics. When she is working on Love and Marriage Huntsville, it is toxic. Okay. There's concrete proof of this. The plots, the lies, they have come. Hold on. The plots, the lies have come from cast and production. This is entertainment. She's trying not to burn bridges. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let you have it. I'm not here to change your feelings and opinions. You are definitely entitled to them. And that's okay. That's okay. You said, yeah, I changed the name. Thank you, Diana. I enjoy you. Okay. I love you too, boo. Okay. I enjoy you too. I appreciate that you are still over here hanging out. That is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Hold on. Let me read this one. You said, remember Mel and her children go to therapy, and I'm sure that it helps out too. I still want to abandon the ship. Okay. Let me see. Diana, do you think that there's hope for the show? I'm not going to lie. To be honest, I thought that they were moving into a better place, to be honest, just based on the shit they were saying. And I saw this last season. Okay. I saw this last season a little bit, but when Mel comes in and she's helping out at the Black Expo, these are all things she didn't necessarily have to do. But when she's, like saying to them, and this is about as honest as you can be. if we're asking for honesty on the show and where these people are, it was honest. Season 5 reunion, season 5 reunion, I don't fuck with y'all. I don't fuck with y'all. And I'm ready to go. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I don't care. Go back and watch it. It was a complete abandonment of the friendship. This is, I believe, where the retreat now happened. Retreat now, blah, 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 blah. And Melody says to Martell, these people aren't your friends either. And the only reason why you are still fucking with them is because you think they have it out for me. And because of that, you're siding with them. And that's okay, but I'm not you, and I'll never do it because I don't fuck with them. That is the conversation that's had on the stage. And for me, I was like, Melody just handed in her resignation, bitch. She said, fuck your peace, okay? Goodbye. Goodbye to the show. She said it on the stage, right? And then they come back, and they are there to make an honest attempt at the very minimum, keeping the show going. Okay, so I'm gonna have this sit down. I'm gonna have this sit down with Tisha. Y'all remember Melody sitting down with Tisha. She goes over to Kimmy's office. Tisha comes in late. Mel comes in with Kimmy. I think Kimmy had a charcuterie tray out, and Melody's eating. She put something on the goddamn plate. I know that. She put something on a plate. She eating. Tisha comes in. Tisha has a face of stone. She don't want to be there, but she does it. And Melody's doing all the talking. She said, Tisha, I know we're in this bad space. And I ain't even trying to take you out the space. What I'm saying is we should be able to go into rooms. We should be able to, engage and be cool. And Tisha says to her, okay, let's start from there. Mel says this, we got some history. There's some shit that we don't like about each other. And we just got to start from there and keep it moving. And Tisha's like, okay. And Tisha actually felt like more of the holdout. Because when we see Tisha in these scenes with Mel, Tisha's like, I don't want to be here. I don't like being here. But then as the season progresses, it gets a little better. They're inviting Melody out for basic stuff like getting your nails done. Let's get a pedicure, a mani-pedi. And Mel's like, I ain't gonna lie, I already had my nails and toes done. But she says, I'm gonna be a team player for the betterment of the show. We're gonna do these little things where we can have conversations and get better with who we are. And they did it all the way up into the Houston trip. And y'all saw the Houston trip. Don't pretend like you didn't see the Houston trip when Tisha starts crying and Mel goes over and said, I wouldn't have done that to you, Tisha. They hug each other. There's a whole scene that's playing out with the group and Martell. Everybody is in this circle except for Marceau and Melody. Melody and Marceau are in the kitchen heating up greens and eating leftover greens. And all you hear in the background is Marceau and Melody laughing their asses off while Martell is screaming at Stormy, I believe, and Tisha saying, y'all let Melody get away with X, Y, and Z. She tried to have me arrested and everybody blah, 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 right? And they're all just sitting there looking at them. And Mel didn't even give two shits. Finally, Mel comes into the scene because Martell was saying, Melody cheated too. And she said, let me give you the timeline, okay? Melody put down her bowl of greens to give the timeline in this scene. And then she starts, she's engaging in that space. But again, they had all made a pact to, they had listen, these people's problems aren't my problems. You can take on this shit and it's personal for you and you're walking around with somebody else's stuff. And when you go to the doctor with your high blood pressure and who knows what else is going on with you, it's going to be hard to say the people inside the box, got my blood pressure up, child. I work in medical field. I'm telling you, I'm not doing that shit for anybody. Some of this stuff don't belong to you. If it don't belong to you, don't carry it. This is 2024. Don't carry that what doesn't belong to you, because what belongs to you will come to you eventually. Okay. Just an FYI. But yeah, Melody, on the other hand, they have been working to get into a better space. And they were. She said it, not me. I didn't make the shit up. She said, I have enjoyed filming with Tisha and Marcel. I enjoyed filming with them. We were in a better place. Those are her things, not mine. Okay, let's get to it. This one, Dyana, if Carlos were to give you the reins, what would you do differently? What would I do differently? What would you like to see from the cast? What can they do to bring season 1 chemistry? Okay. So thank you, Kay, for asking this question. This is what I want to say about season 1 chemistry. This is what I want to say about season 1 chemistry. And then someone said, do you think that Love and Marriage Huntsville is toxic? I think that the stories are their real stories. So let's start there. Their stories, what they're bringing to the show is their real stories. I know a lot of people said that, and I ain't going to lie to you. When people were asked saying that Sonny, Moses, and Destiny storyline was fake, initially I was like, yeah, who does this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you come onto Love and Marriage Huntsville with this new marriage? Like, this is as a married woman, who would put themselves in harm's way? Because you can't control every voice. You can't control what people think about you. And it is going to be more weight on your shoulders than not. Also, in a new marriage, you got to learn each other. You got to learn each other. You got to learn how to protect each other. You got to learn how to speak over each other in a certain way, especially since their marriage happened so quickly. So they didn't really get a chance to date and work some of those kinks out, right? So when you see some shit like that and you're watching it play out on TV, I don't want to wish anything bad on anybody, but my first thought was, I don't think anybody would do that on purpose. But now I do think that this relationship is real. Based on the things that they said, I think it's real. I think that, Sonny and Moses are really married. I don't know anything about Destiny and Sonny's relationship because that's not whatever ever played out. But because I am a blogger and I did follow Destiny and Moses, I do believe they had a real relationship. And you can call it whatever you want. It could have just been physical, but I do think it was their thing. And I think that since you asked if this is toxic, I think bringing those components to a TV show, volunteering to bring those components to the show, those storylines to the show, I don't think there's a lot that anybody can do in production to make this different. I think that if they never talked about it, there would be the majority of the audience who would say, why don't we know anything else about this old relationship between Moses and Destiny? And I think that the fans would get pissed. I think that the fans would think this is a lie and a superficial story. In similar ways that we've called out the Marceau, Tisha, and all that stuff. I think the fans would kick this show in the ass, left, right, up, down, sideways, if they did not tell it. You can get tired of the telling, but they had to share it. That's what I think. And so when you ask if it's toxic, I would say it's their real story, and you're believing it's toxic is you're believing it's toxic. Same with Melody and Martell. Neither one of them have quit the show, right? They came on the show trying to reconcile their relationship, and it didn't work. It didn't work. They went through a divorce, and when they went through their divorce, I remember saying, I wonder if one of them is going to leave the show because someone has to heal. 6 months out of the year, they tape this show. And we already heard from an old producer, I believe his name is Damien After Dark, say that when Melody and Martell were breaking up and had finished, got their divorce, Martell would go to any producer who would listen and say, I don't care what my scenes are, as long as you can help me get back together with my wife. Is it toxic? Probably, if that's what you want to believe of it, but it's their real life. And whether Martell was on the show or not, those feelings that he had about getting back together with his wife would have still played out in Melody's life. So if Melody stayed on the show and Martell left, Melody would have been having real conversations with someone about what Martell was doing to win her back. It's a matter of what you want to listen to, but that would have been her real life. That's what I think. And I think, unfortunately, that there might be people who just can't tolerate the stories or what's happening in these people's lives. But y'all wake up every day. Y'all wake up every day, put a camera in your face from the time you open your eyes, make yourself breakfast, use the bathroom, take a shower, brush your teeth. You'll drive into work. What happens at work, the phone calls you get, your coworkers, how you interact with them, your bosses, how you leave work, go get food, feed your kids, all the way till you close your eyes and go to bed at night. And you tell me what happened in your day that was so exciting you think that it should go on camera. Probably nothing. The majority of us live fairly mundane lives, and there might be one or two things that happen that might be cool or exciting for the week. Those are the things that make it to the television show, because you don't give two shits about boiling eggs, eating cereal, whatever those things are. Those things are boring and humdrum. And even though people say things like, oh, we should see the business, you do not want to see an infomercial either. You don't. And the majority of everybody show their businesses online. The majority of y'all do, and you watch it. You're over there watching it. Putting that on show and on the show and making it an hour, nobody would watch. Nobody would watch. That's what I think. So I think that this show, Love and Marriage Huntsville, is different because of the stories that these people are bringing to the show. I think that it has made its mark in history, whether people like it or not. And unfortunately, I think it's not even the show that's toxic. I think it's what happens around the show that gets a little more toxic. And Dana Scott is kind of saying the same. I think that some of the happenings outside of the TV box has become toxic. Correct. I wish it was different. I do agree that the fans should remove their feelings, because you know how these people are in real life. It is outside of the TV box. It's not the TV. The show is probably one of the most sanitized versions of any reality TV show. The reason why some of the ratings are so low, okay, is because they really give us the most sanitized show that you can get. It's what happens off the show that is like pumping up, what are they going to say? Well, I want to see, but it's not the show. It's not the show itself. The show, the show is I think that Mel and Martell would eventually have figured it out, only if Martell hadn't recruited people into their mess. Think about who Martell would have been not on the show. If you guys think that Martell is this person that wheels, deals, orchestrates, who would he have been off the show? How would he have still got that story out no matter what? No matter what. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Martell knows, and even Melody knows who Martell is. She knows. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think we just we conflate what we see online and on social media. We put it together with the show, because I speak about the show all the time. In this entire live, I started with telling y'all what happened, season, and then I told y'all what happened on live and put it all together, right? Unfortunately, though, what happened on live this past weekend and yesterday, that didn't make the cut. That didn't get filmed. That didn't get filmed. Some people are saying that Carson was a vessel. Carson was a vessel. I think that she helped. And at the end of the day, the act didn't play out. The conversation that was had with AC, what she shared as the plot, that didn't play out, right? It didn't play out. So sometimes we talk about it like it happened. It didn't happen. What Martell got arrested was for sending it to Melody and threatening to do it. He threatened her. This is what I'm going to do if you keep it up. That was the threat that got his ass sent to the pokey. He sent out the threat, and that was the threat that got his ass sent to the pokey, period. And when it happened, Mel said, because they were in this heated moment, I remember Melody said, this is all going to my lawyer. I thought maybe she sent it to the lawyer and it was discussed during the custody case. But she said on the podcast, I let it slide. So that heated exchange between the two of them, she didn't focus on. She focused on what they had going on in the courtroom. And then when everything else played out the next year, she said, you know what? And she said this on the podcast. Y'all can go back and listen to it. When I heard that audio, I said, why don't y'all leave me alone? Because I'm not bothering y'all. And yet y'all still keep bothering me. So she felt away and she said, I'm going to go on down to the courthouse. And maybe she realized, there's some legal things that she can do. Perhaps her lawyer told her there's some things you can do. Because I told y'all, that's not shit that was available to us back in the day. Harassing communications, that wasn't available. That's some new laws that's on the books. And for people watching that episode, now they know if they are being threatened, they can do that. And see, even this. So Trevi says, Tisha bringing Carson to the high tea, knowing what she knew, speaks to Tisha's character, and it backfired. And we should be demanding, if we demand anything, we should want Melody and Tisha to have that conversation, because this is what the audience thinks happened, right? And we don't get that second scene. We haven't gotten that scene, but it would be great to have Tisha and Melody, just like we had Destiny and Melody finally saying, because Tisha was willing to let that shit, when Mel said, I don't have any problems. Y'all saw me be fair. Y'all saw me be cool. I'm not going to rehash anything that has to do with Destiny. Tisha said, cool, we about to have fun tomorrow. Nell Fletcher was like, let's go home. She started dancing and bopping. It was Sonny who said, Melody, no. You about to talk, girl. Me and Destiny had this shit, so you talk too. But wouldn't it be great? Maybe it might be still a touchy subject because it was still in court. I don't think that Martell got that conviction stuff until whenever. But wouldn't it have been great if Melody and Tisha could have a sit down? And maybe they do, because Tisha does say that her and Mel had a sit down. She said, me and Mel had a sit down and we worked out some shit. But wouldn't it be great if that's a part of the conversation where Melody says, I know, because this is supposed to be all surrounding her ex, I know that you knew that Carson was privy to X, Y, and Z. Wouldn't it be great? It's not that the shit doesn't happen to us in real life. It's just what we, it's just how we feel about it. The Review Hour, who is an awesome sub. I love her. And she has her own channel too. Hopefully she is working to she said that she wanted to make sure that she can get some things on there that she wants to do. But anyway, she said this. She says, Diana, you are really good at explaining reality TV. Winter, who I'm assuming is from the DC show, breaks reality TV down as well. The audience just doesn't want to hear this version, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I really try to, because I watch so much TV, it's really easy to internalize this stuff. And then all of a sudden you're walking around with all that heavy shit over some stuff that happened months ago, like 6, 7, 8 months ago, and you're carrying it. And that's not where these people are. They're someplace else. They're enjoying their kids. They're going on vacation, and you're in the dumps because of some shit that got filmed months ago. Like, you got to put it in perspective. That would be great to see how Tisha gets out of it. I would like to see a real conversation. And you know why? Because everybody mentions this. This is one of the things that everybody mentions. Wouldn't it be great if they had a sit down where they talked about it, a round table? These conversations that they're doing around the table is amazing. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, because whatever happened between Melody, Tisha, Carson, had Melody saying, Tisha sent me videos of our kids playing together. And even though we're not, buddy, we're cordial. It had her saying, I enjoyed filming with Tisha and Marcel. People are holding grudges that she's not even holding. People are holding, energy that she's not holding or wasn't holding. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have feelings about other things that may happen in the future. It's just that you guys are holding on to some things that she may not be holding on to. Oops, hold on. You're moving too fast for me. I want to know how they can support Martell. They don't have to like or care for Mel, but the things that we know about Martell has done and accused of doing is much more for any woman to support. That looks like it's going to be a part of the season, the mid-season. It looks like it's going to be a part of it. And if you guys didn't watch the interview with Dustin, Marceau does an interview with Dustin where he actually says, I will never respect Martell because of X, Y, and Z. He said, I don't respect it. He said he doesn't like what he did to the children. Those are important things. Cut and paste Tisha. Cut and paste Tisha said that Tisha claimed it was the producers who asked her to bring Carson to the party. Okay. Some of the behind the scenes stuff, Melody has been the one that shares the behind the scenes stuff the most. We haven't heard anyone else on the cast share it. And they could just be in a place where they don't want to. I don't know. So again, some of you guys you remember things. I can't speak for Melody at all. What I can say is the best place to get this information is from the podcast event. It was taped. Yeah, it was filmed too. It's on Carlos King's page. Listen to it. I played a little bit of that audio where she talks about how everything went, moving up to making the decision to have him arrested, how the warrant was filed, what she said to the magistrate when the warrant was issued, how her and her brother engaged about it. She gives a lot of details, what happened on the day he was arrested. All of that stuff is shared and talked about. And I think people may have asked questions in the audience. But I do think that just like for all of us, we cannot sit in those spaces. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens and you got to move. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. If you are still holding on to some shit that happened a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, your life, you're not living the life you're supposed to live, period. She is doing what she's supposed to do and she's still moving forward. It's the only way you can juggle what she juggles. Everything feels like a cliffhanger and you never get to see the conclusion. I understand that. I understand what you mean by that. The cast is playing several roles. What we see on TV is what they actually are off screen. A bunch of pretenders. Okay. For Stormy to support Martell as a woman whose customers are women is baffling. I think that Tisha didn't bring up the revenge P because she wasn't sure if the spouse had seen the video. Okay. This show is terrible at continuity and resolution. That's ultimately what makes the audience so bloodthirsty, for lack of a better word. Kay, you just spoke a word. You just spoke a word. And I agree with you. I think that when people weren't filming with each other, it really made it hard for us to get these scenes that would bring conclusion, that would bring some of these issues to a close for the audience. And so if they're willing to go backwards to close it up, it would be great. A lot of people did not like the scene between Destiny and Melody. Again, that part 2 of that of that interaction is going to happen in the second part of the finale. I liked it because for the first time, I know nobody believes this, but for the first time, Melody actually gave the details. She gave more details than before. We did not get details from Destiny, though. Will we? We don't know. But Destiny didn't say why she acted out with Melody. When Mel says, listen, this is what you did at my Taco Tuesday party, blah, 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 blah. She just said, I didn't even know you felt that way. But it would be great if Destiny had a chance to communicate her side. I was really just not, my brain wasn't there. I didn't do what everybody else did, right? But yeah, I think they're trying to maybe, because I don't know anything about production. I don't know anything about production. I don't know anybody on that show. I watch the TV show and I try to give you all sides when I do my commentary. That's the only way I know how to do it. I look at everybody's side and I try to give you a point of view. Okay? I don't hate nobody. Can't do it. Can't do it. I got my own life with people who's really done shit to me that I can hate. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people that I hate already. I don't have any other hate. Let's see. Marceau and Tisha have the same conversation every season. Tisha fired Carson 5 months before they asked her to film. I think that Tisha was going to bring up because the tape. You think that Tisha was going to bring up the tape at the tea party, but things didn't go well between her and Carson. You could be right. You could be right. But again, I don't think that Melody is a stupid person. Never thought that. I have said since the beginning, Melody is smart. Melody is smart. Melody is smart. Melody is smart. So as the audience, when we are watching this stuff, it is also a part of Melody. Like, I don't know if her producer might say, do you want to have a scene with Tisha? There's a lot of people who are accusing Tisha of bringing on Carson. Because if I was a producer, this is what I would say. Girl, I've been watching the internet because a lot of the shit that happened on the internet shows up on the show. Girl, I've been watching what's going on the internet. A lot of people are bringing up Carson. They're saying that Tisha knew. Do you want to do a scene between you and Tisha and what Carson knew? And then it's up to Melody to say, or Tisha to say, yes, right? Let's do the scene. Or no, I want that shit to stay behind me. That's just something that the audience is going to have to just deal with. It's not something I want to talk about anymore. It was embarrassing for me. In Houston, we saw Melody say on her confessional, I don't have to tell y'all what Martell did. Y'all know what Martell did. What I can tell you is that I don't want to do anything with them. Don't pair me with them. Don't put me in the same, I want to be in my own room. So she counted on the audience to know the deal. And even after that, she was still filming with everybody else in the cast. So it's just a matter of wanting to know. At this point, I think it may be interesting to see Melody ask, or you guys to ask of Melody, is it possible for us to get a scene between you and Tisha, and what your thoughts were about Tisha bringing Carson? It's worth it. We heard about how the scenes with Martell and Melody have come together, right? Where Melody says, hey, or not Melody, Martell says that the production will say, this is what Martell is talking about. It would be in your best interest to talk about it. Or is there possible so that we can get a scene between you and Martell? Is it possible that we can get a scene between you and Tisha? When Marceau talked about Martell getting arrested, Melody, I won't say she asked because I don't know. God forbid, child, don't take that serious. There was production said, Melody and Marceau, would y'all like to have a scene where y'all discuss why Marceau would comment on Martell getting arrested? And we got the scene. We got to put the shit in people's laps. Marceau has to get a restraining order against Martell. They know. Interesting. I know that he got a restraining order in first season. Tisha does not care. She's a snake. Anything she can do to embarrass Mel, she's willing to do. Okay. This is great. Now, I don't know, but since we're talking about it, let's put it out there in the atmosphere. There's a lot of people that don't trust Tisha. There's a lot of people that don't trust Tisha or the Scotts or whatever. And then Mel has conversations about, how her feelings for are with the cast. When Melody sat down and told Stormy, I'm not gonna have this relationship with you anymore. Did you know that your mama didn't like me? I don't fool with the mama drama anymore. So you and I can be cordial. We can film scenes and things like that. That was very clear and cut, right? We know what it is. She did that same scene with Tisha, kind of. She said, at the end of the day, I don't fool with your mama. They even, Melody and Martell had a scene with the Scotts, 1 and 2, where they said, we want Wanda off the show. Okay, well, they didn't say show because they didn't break the fourth wall, but they did say a lot of the drama that happens with all of us and why we can't get over our humps is because of Wanda. That's how they put it. Okay. And then Wanda ended up, not being a part of the next season. But those scenes are as real as anything. Those scenes are as real as anything, and a lot of people relate to it. They get that, extra side of the story. I think it's worth having those extra sides of the story. This show is a footprint for what's going on in their lives. So I like it. If someone asked if I was a producer, what would I do? I would ask that. I would say, can we please get some more scenes about this? And especially since Melody is talking about friendship now, and the reason why the friendships can't go, as far as the hand in front of your face. This is it. I'm not doing it. If this is the conversation, then put it all out there. Put it all out there. The irony now is Stormy is committing harassing communication on a child's phone and starting Stormy mean mugging, face trifling. Okay. So see, these are the conversations that we have online, right? But Melody said that she believes that person sent the message about the show to someone she thought on the other end was an adult. It just happened not to have been an adult, but she didn't say that her son received the message. She said she received the message. So I don't know if that would be harassing communication necessarily, since it was about the show. Because even Mel said this was not a crime. So we sometimes we take things a little further than it actually is, and we feel a way about it. But that's not actually what happened. That's not what happened. What happened was she sent a message to a phone about the show. Yes, it was about Melody and what happened in the scene. And Melody caught it and said, okay. Who she believes to be Stormy. So yes, it was ironic for sure. But it was absolutely ironic. But you know what else is ironic? It's ironic that a person who lived in Detroit befriended a girl that was in Huntsville and had a conversation about Revenge P. It's ironic that that person who lived in Detroit moved to Huntsville and became a friend of Tisha's. It's ironic that that same person found her way on the show. It's all ironic, baby. When I say perfect fucking storm, it is a perfect storm. Some of this shit people be waiting to play out for centuries in history. It happens back to back to back to back to back to back to back on this show. It's crazy. It's all irony. It's all irony. Let's see. You can't ask Tisha if you can have a conversation about Carson. You know good and well that Tisha will decline. Okay. I would say it's still worth asking. And I don't even know if the question wasn't asked. It very well could have been asked and one or the other could have said no. We don't know that as an audience, though. We fill in the blanks and we assume, but we don't know because nobody said that to us. But we have to also keep it clear, because when you are going from channel to channel and you're listening to different things, it's really easy to spin all the facts in your head, right? With what's fact and what's opinion. Do you feel that like some of Kimmy's distaste for Tisha's behavior is coming back? Kimmy looked annoyed at Tisha's antics at the restaurant on the trip. I do think that Kimmy and Tisha are very different. I don't necessarily, I think that, you know, when you first start a TV show, you want people to do a certain thing. And then if you've been in it for a while, as Melody said, I've been taping the show for what, 6 years, 7 years now, guys. I know how TV works. I know what's expected of me. I'm not just walking into things and being ambushed anymore. You know what I'm saying? I had an idea Destiny would be there, that kind of stuff. You kind of know up front. So even though Kimmy is put in confessional, and Kimmy was sitting there like sucking in her cheeks, like, I wouldn't have done that shit, right? That may not have been what she would have done. But I also think that we have to keep in mind there is a production team, because they were filming that scene it looked like for hours. If y'all listen to my review, that scene started on the beach. Melody and the crew never changed clothes. They never went back to their Airbnb to go into their dinner attire. They're still wearing their swimsuits. And production kept them outside of that house all day. And then they put Destiny and Tisha in the house. So they were creating a perfect storm. If y'all look at how they're eating their food when they're in the restaurant, they're eating one bean at a time. Someone picks up a piece of lettuce, and Stormy, at one point, she's holding up her shot glass like, can I get another one of these, child? If you're drinking, if you're paying attention, some of them are a little saucier than others, okay? But they wanted the perfect storm to happen at that table. They wanted the perfect storm to happen at the table. This is the season finale. In order for it to be the finale, people got to move. People got to make shit shake, period. And I think even though Tisha asked the question, because you said, do you feel like her antics? When Tisha asked the question, it wasn't Tisha that got it started. Melody actually shuts Tisha down. Okay? Go back and watch. She said, Tisha, I have operated in this space peacefully, and I was fair to Destiny. You're not going to tell me otherwise. I participated. I will be fine tomorrow. Because Tisha like, I just want to have fun. Is there anything else that's going to happen? She said, I was fine. So don't put that shit on me. Right? It's Sunny who picks up the conversation and said, Mel, me and Destiny just had a conversation. Now you need to have this conversation. What breaks your friendship down? And Tisha joins back in to say, are you listening, Mel? Are you listening? Destiny was really hurt, Mel. And I think you were too. And Mel said, Tisha, I ain't what you want right now. Don't do that. When she says that and points in Tisha's face, Tisha said, okay. And that's how it ends. But we all put it on Tisha. Sometimes it's funny how the camera works, because you see Kimmy and you go, Kimmy said, I knew it was a bad time. She should have never brought it up at the table. Well, when she tried to shut it down and Mel shut it down, it wasn't her. It was Sunny who brings it up. And Sunny is probably on the show, y'all, now that I think about it even more, because she does know in front of the camera and behind the camera a little different. She knows behind the camera a little differently. Because you know what would have happened in that scene if it wasn't for Sunny? They all would have went back to their rooms and nobody would have said shit. Because they are still tiptoeing around each other. They're tiptoeing around each other in a way that these kind of scenes can't happen. But Sunny made that scene happen. She made that scene happen. I respect what she did in the scene. I know a lot of people was mad at Tisha. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Be mad. Shit, it's okay. But it was Sunny who got it popping. Sunny made that scene pop. She made it pop. Okay. I'm having fun answering these questions, child, but I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. Diana, do you think that part of the reason the mess Is the cast simply being bothered by Mel's popularity, which mostly grew because of their unfairness and gleefulness towards her pain? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't know. And the reason why I'm going to say I don't know at this point is because I've gone back, I've looked at different parts of this show. A lot of information has been released in the aftermath of this show. Okay. Or in different, we get different parts of information that should have, come to us in first or second season. What I will say is they're not friends anymore, or they don't hang in each other's space after this show is filmed. So whatever happens on set, they leave, they do whatever. I have to say that I think we're holding people in spaces that they're not anymore. That means Melody, I don't think she's in that space anymore. I've said that since fourth season. I said, Melody's different. Like, I think fourth season, she's not talking to anybody. She was real reserved. She stayed out of the camera for the most part. I feel like most of the scenes happen in her house or in her bedroom. You just saw her film on her cell phone with her mom. That was a different Mel than we have now. When did the Destin, Florida scene happen? So season 1 all the way up to the Destin, Florida trip, Mel was on. Then Mel slowed down a lot. And she probably had to. I'm not saying that it was it's bad. I'm saying that you can only do what you can do. We're human. You have, your mental health is important. But I also think that when she's saying season 1 Mel is back, I think it's because she's just ready to get back in it. I ain't letting people say shit. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that's cool too. We will get to see how these people engage each other. Nobody's hitting the like button. Please hit the like button. Please and thank you. Miss Tina and the Chronic, hit that like button before we get out of here. 814 are in here right now. Hit that like button. Become a subscriber if you are not already. All I try to do is bring a balanced commentary. I don't want y'all leaving my page, jumping in your car, okay? Not paying attention because you pissed off. Hit the car in front of you. Don't make it home to your kids. This don't have to be. We don't have to have these kind of interactions. Someone said, I hate when they pretend to like each other on film, but they hate each other off film. I don't think they hate each other. I just think that they've just gotten to a different understanding of where they are. I don't think everybody hates each other anyway. Okay, hold on. I think that Tisha dropped a bomb when she called Mel out for saying F Destiny. Tisha was supposed to tell that story. See, this is a part of reality TV that we do not give the benefit of the doubt to when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. If this was RHOA, if it was Potomac, if it was any other show, we would expect for people to have told that story. We don't expect it for some reason on this show. Tisha said what she had to say, and then Mel responded. I did say it. I'm not taking it back. I meant every word of it. However, and then she says what she has to say. Ain't nothing taken back there. And that's fine too. That's fine too. All right. Anyway, y'all, this has been great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hopefully we can keep these conversations going. More will come out. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. Thank you to everybody who has sent me messages. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. You guys are amazing. I tell y'all that all the time. What else? That's it, y'all. That's it. That's it. Thank y'all for rocking with me today. I can't believe I was on for 3 damn hours, but I was. 3 hours, okay? Hopefully we learned something. We feel better about something, and we will see what happens next. People have just gotten called out, okay? Called out, and now we'll see if anything else happens next. But yeah, it's great. I don't wish harm to anybody. I hope that everybody's able to work things out. okay? Coexisting in the workplace. The workplace is people's kitchens, child. It is their personal kitchen. It's the restaurant. Okay, it's not the workplace with the cubicles. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, they can get in their car, they can leave anytime. You have to go to work, right? You got to punch in, hit that 9 to 5. These people said they don't have to film with anybody. They said they don't have to do any scenes they don't want to do. There's just a little more leeway than we actually have in our personal lives. Keep that in mind, okay? I appreciate you. Let me end it on that note. All's good in the hood. Thank you so much, you guys. Hit that like button on your way out, please, and thank you. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Thank you to my moderators for volunteering for so long today. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.